Okay. Technology, testing. Welcome back to B Adventures. Oh, we are live. Okay, we are live.
We are live.
Welcome back to B Adventures. I got my guest star with me, Scott Lisenbury from USA. He's a very experienced traveler and explorer. And guys, we're just warming up. It was very impromptu, so we're just gonna let a couple more people turn up, and we're also just setting up the system as well.
I barely had time to put my flame background on, so just so everybody realizes we're pro here.
Hold on. Okay, so do you want me to send you the link, Scott?
Yeah, would you? I'll figure it out.
Like I said, you should put it on mute. Put the YouTube on mute because it'll create an echo with the Google Hangout.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? Google Hangout is recording to YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down here. Hold on. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So,
okay.
Where's the comments? Oh, maybe it's because maybe because we're early. Maybe because we started early.
Yeah.
Hold on. I need a. Why is this?
It'll ding every time, is what you're saying, huh?
Sorry.
Oh, mine won't ding. Mine won't ding. I'll turn it off. Actually, I'll turn this off.
Hold on. Technical. What happened to you, man? It's working. We're on air, but for some reason, I'm just trying to get the comment section. Why isn't it? Maybe because we're early. Maybe because we made it early. Hold on. Maybe because we're early. Yeah, I think it's because we're early.
We broke the internet.
Come on. Let me just check. Yeah. Well, hey, awesome. Hey, it's good to be early. Seriously.
I know, right?
It's good to be early. Oh, here we go. Public.
My boss always says 5 minutes early is 10 minutes late.
Yeah, that's cool because I'm still getting used to it. That's cool, man.
5 minutes early is 10 minutes late.
No, that's interesting because it made the event private just for the people who tune in later. It actually made this private because we were early.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, it's sort of like, oh, they're early. Let's make it private anyway. So I'm just gonna say, can you see us on YouTube as well? Do you have two windows open?
No. Let me try that.
Shit. That's what I mean. You can pull the tab on the internet browser. You can pull the tab and like. Anyway, you're winning.
Hold on, I'm working on it.
You're winning. You're all right. Don't worry. For me, I've just got to have two open so I can see the comments. That's all.
Okay. B Adventures.
Scott, where's your camera?
What's that?
Where's your camera, brother?
I'm not
on. Maybe we're too early.
I don't know. I'm here.
Hey, look, respect. That's a good problem to have. If we're early, that's a good thing. None of this late stuff.
I'm gonna mute this.
Hey, look, respect. Okay, wow. Yeah. So okay, we're live. It's working. Are you good?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. All right, so everyone, anyone who's tuning in, welcome back to the channel. It was very impromptu. Yeah, Scott, something's up with your camera. You're not turning up.
Oh, weird. I think that's something to do with Hangouts, though. I think it is. It's only because I'm not talking. When I start talking, do I show up?
It's just an icon. It's not. I thought we had this sorted out. It's just an icon. It's
weird.
Okay, now it is. Okay, look, I'm getting distracted.
I can see you, and I can see a picture of me in there. I mean, it should be. I should be
working. Yeah, sorry, it's a bit laggy, but anyway, look, hey, welcome everyone back to B Adventures.
Kill that live stream thing from YouTube. I don't want to open too much stuff. I don't want to. I'm just gonna leave it closed.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
You just tell me what the comments say. I'm gonna just try to close everything.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. Fair enough. We got too much. We got too much going on. Yeah. No, you're cool, and you're a guest. All right, so we got to do a couple of things. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Brandon from B Adventures. That's what it stands for. B's Adventures, Brandon's Adventures. Also, we got a guest star today, Scott Lisenbury. He's a good American friend, and he's a very experienced traveler. So I'm not wearing a suit today. Didn't have meetings. Scott knocked off work early today as well.
I worked until the end, man. I worked until the I didn't get off early.
Okay.
We're almost at solstice, so it gets dark at 4:30. I mean, it's pitch dark at 4:30. So my last appointment, I mean, I'm walking around with flashlights trying to find equipment and stuff at 4:30.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's winter. I mean, it's summertime.
I'm living up at the North Pole. We're only a few days. The longest day of the year is 3 days from now. So
yeah, well, it's summertime here in Australia. So yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. So
it's darkest winter. My first appointments are dark, and my last appointments are dark. It's just like I'm using up every ounce of daylight all day.
Right. So I'm just trying to set up this layering. So anyway, basically, yeah, Scott's a very experienced traveler, and you're from Washington State. For those who don't know, Washington State, USA. So we'll cover some updates. So guys, basically, I've been very busy working. That's why these live streams are awesome. I can just quickly set up a live stream and just say hello to all of you. Catriona Gray, she's a Filipino Australian, half Filipino, half Australian. She grew up in Cairns, Queensland, Australia. Cairns, Queensland state. And yeah, she won Miss Philippines and then went on to win Miss Universe. So yeah, right. She's very beautiful. But Scott and I were talking about this earlier. Like, I don't particularly care for these beauty pageants now. Like, it's nice to watch now and then.
Yeah.
But I really was so happy she won, not just because of the whole Australian Philippines thing. Like, I felt like we both won. She's very well spoken. She's educated. She's well spoken. She's already been doing charity and philanthropy work. So she's been doing working in slums in Manila, and also an AIDS HIV advocate about creating awareness. It's a big problem in Philippines, so it's good on her. She's been doing that for a couple of years, so good on her, Catriona Gray, and good on Cairns, Queensland. Awesome to the friends from Cairns, Queensland. That's like our Florida. That's like our sunshine state sort of thing.
Is it?
Yeah. So Queensland's our sunny place. It's very popular for vacation and such, and there's a lot of Filipinos up there too.
Wow.
Anyway,
I think I enjoyed it.
David Goggins.
It sounds wonderful. You're selling it. You're a very good travel agent. I think that might be.
Well, I've made videos of Brisbane, Queensland. Like, I used to go there every year, and that was before I was vlogging. So I wish I vlogged them back in the day. But the point is, I mean, a lot of people go there for vacation. Overseas as well as local Australians, and it's a nice sunny place. But unemployment can be a bit high up there. Lower pay rates, unemployment. Anyway, so we'll move on from that, but we can talk more about that later if you want. I was watching Joe Rogan. So for those of you who don't know, Joe Rogan has a wonderful interview platform. He's very honest, very non-judgmental. So if you don't know who he is, go watch his YouTube videos, and he interviews people from all around the world.
I like that guy a lot. I really do.
Man, Joe Rogan is the last bastion.
He's in my top three. He's in my top three of the videos I watch. Is Joe Rogan?
Well, no, he wasn't showing off. He actually made a video clip recently. Like, why isn't anyone else doing honest interviews? Like, he's the last bastion. He's like, it's not just me. Like,
everybody has got some kind of a bias. Like they're like, they're starting off. They're already starting off with their set of ideals and beliefs.
That's
and
right.
Going, hey, look, you're liberal, that's cool. You're conservative, that's cool. I just want to get to the truth here. I don't care. I'm not going to knock you either way. And it's like, that's real journalism. That really is. And it's pretty weird that some UFC wrestler is going to be your bastion of real journalism.
It shows how many layers. There's a lot of layers to a lot of people. Meaning, he's awesome, fitness, mixed martial arts.
Or conservative, there's no way. He can't. I see him a little liberal. I see him a little conservative in both sides. I don't see him as.
Yeah, well, but the point is, when people are on his show, it's a podcast, so it's like this. You can listen to it audio or watch the video. But the point is, at least he lets people speak. He just lets people come over. He asks good questions, and he lets them speak. And
instead of I don't know. You just see journalism today. They come at they've already got a platform, and they're trying to prove their platform. I don't feel that he's trying to do that. I feel that he's just trying to get to the bottom of things, and he doesn't let his ideals. He's like the first thing, and that's what I like. I try to do that too in life. Is just say, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Exactly.
Why are you not doing? Let me tell you why you're not fitting in and why you're wrong. It's like, why not just listen to the guy, like whatever. It's not that hard.
See, Gary Vayner. He talks about this. He says human beings have always been human beings. I'm paraphrasing. These things here, phones, internet.
Yep.
All it did was expose us.
Yeah.
Human beings have always been human beings.
We didn't change.
We can get exposed now with a camera phone, with the internet. It's like that, So people keep blaming the iPhone or phones and the internet. It's not the phones and internet. It's just exposing what we are. We were already like that.
So glad I did all my crazy crap before the internet. I am so glad. There would be so many bad videos of me, horrible stuff. That would be just. I would never. You would be able to Google me, and you would see 4 pages of just the worst stuff you ever saw in your life.
Let's not talk about that just yet. I love you, State Department. U.S. State Department.
Examples. I'm just giving you. I'm just telling you.
Love you, U.S. State Department. No, because that's why I didn't vlog when I was younger too. I should have vlogged. I traveled around the world, but one, I didn't know how to make videos, and 2, the technology wasn't there. To be honest.
Yeah. The worst things I ever am up to is always on your videos. Like that's.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good times, man. It's good times. Seriously, I was watching them the other night. Our what was it? It was our Pampanga videos, but it was just so much fun, even just watching them again. I was just like, oh yeah, and then
the champagne club.
Yeah, but you don't see it because as a human, you're only registering what you can recognize. Right. Later on the video, I can see, oh, look at what happened in the corner, and who was that guy in the corner? You can see other things that were happening. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I was watching Joe Rogan, and there's this guy David Goggins, African American guy David Goggins. He's amazing.
The gun guy.
He's an ex-Navy SEAL, but it's not so much about that. He just keeps doing these most amazing things, and he's it's not to put someone like him on a pedestal, and he makes that very clear. He's like, people only use 40% of their brain. Just caveman style. Like, don't overthink it. And you're only using 40% when you get comfortable.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, no, look, brother, let's get a pizza. Let's stay at home and get a pizza. Oh, I don't want to go for a run. It's getting kind of cloudy. It's kind of cold now. It's kind of hot now. And when you start making up those excuses and cutting yourself off, that's the 40%.
Yeah.
If you can just train your mind to use 45, 50, 55, 60, that's how he does amazing things.
Push yourself, and it all depends on your attitude of the day. Yeah.
Brother, he was airborne qualified, meaning he's qualified to jump out of a military plane. He had his scuba bubbles, so he's dive qualified as well. And then later they discovered a hole in his heart. He's not even supposed to do those things, but he had a heart condition, so he got it fixed. It took a couple of years. He got it fixed, and they had to check him out every so often to make sure he was healing okay. And then he went back to being a Navy SEAL, So,
see, that's the thing when the military puts $1 million into you, when the U.S. military puts $1 million into you, they're like, oh, you got a hole in your heart. Well, we're going to fix it. If I went to the doctor today and I said, oh, you're 48 years old and you have a hole in your heart. Guess you got a hole in your heart.
and he made that very clear.
We can fix it, but you're not worth it.
Because by the way, Scott, just to let you know, when I see comments come in, I'll just reply them. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to say hello to Brian. Brian, Philly in the Philippines.
Hi, Brian. Oh, hey, wait.
Brian, good to hear from you, man. Good to hear from you. Glad you're still alive. His channel's pumping. Brian, your channel's booming, man.
Oh, yeah, Brian, man, we love you, guy.
Hey, good thing you listened to me, huh? I gave him tips. Sharing is caring. I gave him tips. Yeah. Yep. He's like, whatever. But anyway, Brian, hey, Brian.
All the time.
Brian, let us know. You're welcome to join us. If you want to join the live stream, I can send you the link. All right?
So that'd be awesome. We'd love to have Brian in.
Hold on. Let me. Yeah, I'll see if he wants to join us. But anyway, we'll just keep going. So David Goggins, not to get too distracted, just to finish up on him. Like, he had to transfer to an office job, which was recruitment, right? Okay. And people were ripping on him. You got to understand, other Navy SEALs, other special operations, they'll rip, oh, you're a soft, you went to the office job. Because no, they made me take an office job.
They made me go there because I got a hole in my heart.
Yeah, and he said, until this gets fixed, I can't go back into active duty, So eventually he went back to active duty. So he got it fixed and went back. But Man, that's awesome. So I know it sounds funny. For what it's worth, I got inspired because he went through so much pain. Is the whole point. He went through a very painful life. I went, I'm putting on my shoes today and going for a run.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just such a small thing. I was having that limit 40%. Oh, you know, it's really hot today, Australian summer, and it's getting cloudy. It might rain. And no, if I can put on my shoes today, I'm gonna do some push-ups and go for a run. So that's what I did. And that's before I called you and before you did this live stream.
You know, just on that topic, just to be funny. I mean, it's like on the boat I work on. It's like, oh, you hurt your leg. Oh, your ankle hurts. You can't come to work. Oh, you know, we do the same thing. Like, oh, but man, maybe you need to get a teddy bear and you know, right? But if somebody shows up on if somebody shows up on the boat and they have the sniffles, they're like. We're like, what are you doing here, man? You're gonna get us all sick. We're all trapped in this little box. Like, you got the sniffles. Go home. Go home. Like, don't be here. Like, we don't need. We're all gonna get sick now. You typhoid Mary, get out of here.
that happened to me in office jobs too.
If you break your leg, we're gonna laugh at you. But if you get the sniffles, you need to go home and not come back, and we won't mock you at all. We won't say anything. And the sniffles are like the worst thing ever this time of year. Because everybody,
that's even happened to me in office jobs where I was so dedicated, and that's something I had to get over. I was always doing the value add, and there's a point of diminishing returns because I'm talking about it more now on my channel, so you can expect more value add. But I was doing so much, I'm sick with the handkerchief. They're like, go home. They're like, man, you're gonna get everyone sick. Just go home, okay? We're impressed.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
We'll laugh if you break your leg, but when you start coughing, you need to. We take that very seriously because everybody starts dropping like flies. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thanks for joining us, DB Coop. Awesome. Appreciate it. You know, just
fall out of the trees like koalas.
Yeah, well, let's start the rock up. Yeah, that's why it was good. We just had a bit of warm up and technical stuff at the start. Alrighty. So yeah, David Goggins.
Hangouts is not the best platform, I don't think, but whatever you get.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
exactly. It's not, but hey, we got to use what we got. So, also Dr. Jordan Peterson, he's visiting Australia. So to the Australian friends, he's fully booked.
You're excited about that.
Yeah,
That's great.
Look, I respect him very much. He is. And well, just so people know who he is, Dr. Jordan Peterson is a clinical psychologist from Canada, and he also has a YouTube channel. And what he did was, he's a lecturer. He would record his university lectures and put them on YouTube. And because he went through a lot of controversy, people started to discover him. So those videos were always there. His teachings were always there. You know, he's a teacher. But he's the guy we've been waiting for. And it's not like some silly fanboyism. He's finally the educated professional, clinical psychologist, who's sharing empirical data. Like he's saying, I've done 5 years research on this. I've done 10 years research on this. I'm looking at 20 years research on this. And he's actually sharing useful information of like why people might feel frustration in their lives or things like that. So not to get too carried away. That's why I'm a big fan. So that's why I wanted to support him if he came to Australia. But he's fully booked. He's told that
very few things that he has said do I disagree with. Like almost nothing. I mean, I'm like, well, you know what? When you put it that way, I mean, I kind of thought this. But now when you show me the evidence and show me that, like, that's how it really is, I can't argue with that. Like, that makes now it makes sense. I couldn't understand it, and he put it in a very clear and concise way where I could understand it, and now I changed my viewpoint completely on a few different subjects.
No, and he was cool. Like, because he interviewed about, you know, his long form interviews, and because his interviews go 1 hour, 2 hours, his lectures go so many hours. He said he's happy people are now chopping up his interviews and then reposting them on the internet.
Right.
You know, he's like, hey, it's getting him more attention. Like, awesome. And for the most part, it's helping people. You know, just when you get that 10-minute key thing where he talks about pay gaps, or he talks about different things you can do to address like procrastination or something like that. You know, so.
Right.
Anyway, so again, he's on Joe Rogan too. So yeah, awesome. Respect for Joe Rogan. And,
Joe's good. Joe's good people, man. He does a really good job.
Just for anyone tuning in, guys, again, I've just been focused on work. You know, I do a lot of office work. I'm probably going to try and share more of that life with you guys, so you know a bit more about me. You know, people watch my channel and I think this is all I do. They think I just travel around partying full time. No, it's a very small part of my life, guys. Just For the record, it's a very small part of my life. So I work hard, I pay my bills, and then that's my vacation time. And same with Scott. He works very hard. We pay our bills.
Like I don't. The only time I'm posting something on Facebook is when I have something interesting to post, and the only time I have something interesting to post is when I'm on vacation. So people think I'm traveling all the time, but I'm really, the rest of my life is a mundane grind of cold, wet nonsense. You know, that's what it is.
Hey, but look, you're a hard worker, brother, and you're winning. You're winning. We'll talk more about that later. You know, as friends. But hey, look, I'm so happy for you, man. You're doing well. You're winning. So
I'm enjoying myself,
guys. Look, time's flying. It's December. It's December 2018. Scott and I were live chatting. You know, just as friends. You know, privately, we were live chatting at the start of 2018. Wow, the year went so fast, man.
It went really fast.
Gosh, yeah, so much. So yeah, we got a bit to catch up on. You know, as friends, but Scott and I were like talking about all sorts of things, like. You know, when can we travel next, and what can we do for work, and you know, blah 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 blah. Just
answering the mysteries of the universe.
Correct. Correct. I gotta say, I think you've really kicked ass this year, man. You've really been winning. So I don't know if you want to share that, but your business.
It's been a good winning year. We'll see how we go with this. You know.
Well, hey, value add. You know, I'm not kidding. Value add. You really kicked ass. Yeah. You know? So, yeah, well done. So
and to your credit, man, you are a good. You're a good motivator and a pusher. Like a lot of times I'm sitting there like, you need to do this. You need to do that. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to just do it. Like, and I do. And then at the end, I'm always glad I did. So
well,
you're a good professional life coach, Brandon.
Thank you. No, well, it comes from my professional client work. I do, you know, business. I'm a business advisor, and unfortunately, it's not just like straight. I got to do business. Quite often, I'm dealing with couples issues. Like, how do I deal with the husband? How do I deal with the wife? They're having a fight in front of me while we're trying to have a meeting, and it's like now I'm a marriage counselor. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I know, right?
It's like, and there's another guy.
We even addressed that subject. We addressed like why your job is kind of hard sometimes with that kind of. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I got to start vlogging it. I got to start covering it because people think I'm just whatever Peter Pan partying. No, it's actually quite the opposite. Yeah, they think we're oppressing the world. They think we're smoking cigars. We are rich assholes. It doesn't work that way, you know.
No, merge.
We're suffering.
Tired of this crap.
We're suffering. We work so hard. We suffer most of the year. That's why we go traveling, because we're suffering most of the time.
Right. It's miserable the other 9.5 months.
Yeah. But anyway, hey, remember that's why we wear gold watches, right? You got to go for gold.
Oh yeah. God, I don't even have mine sitting here.
I gotta do a review on the watch. But guys, it's gonna be a thing. You don't need stupid material things in life, but when you work hard, you can afford it. Fine, right? That's all it's about.
Get a G-Shock. Be in the club.
G-Shock. The reason why I got a gold one, because it reminds me to grab the brass ring in life, grab gold in life. You know, sometimes. Anyway, and I get a lot of comments. But anyway,
gotta have a little bling. Gotta have a little
bling. Little bling bling. I was denied many things as a child. You know. I was denied many things. Many things were taken from me as a child. So now in adulthood, I must get them back. That's right. Yeah. What do you think of my gunfighter? You got to be a gunfighter, man. So people stop taking things from you. You know. So.
Yeah. Right.
Love you, State Department. Love you, State Department. Watches. Love you, U.S. State Department. Love you.
The ballad of Brian Lee. Brandon Lee.
Why does he do that? Stop! Don't do that. You know.
Oh man.
To the viewers, U.S. State Department watches my channel. Love you, State Department. Don't get upset.
Yeah, they got bigger fish to fry.
No, they get upset. They're like, "Why does he go to Mindanao? Why does he get in gunfights?" But anyway, we'll keep going. So Scott, this is about you actually today. I wanted the audience to get to know you and your experience.
Oh no.
Do you want to share some places you've been? You've been all around the world.
I've been to Europe. I've been to most of mainstream Europe. I haven't been to Eastern Europe. Mexico. I've extensively traveled through Mexico. Driven from Port Angeles to Cabo San Lucas round trip 5 times. 5 times. Mm-hmm. So that's a long haul. That's a lot of drive.
Did you tell me about that before? It was like work or something, but you
no, it was just me and my buddy. We just took off and we went down and we just drove. Yeah, good 17 hours a day of driving a lot of times.
What was the one with tropical fish? You showed me a picture of a big tropical fish.
Oh, that was a Dorado, also known as a mahi-mahi. Yeah, that was in Costa Rica. That's Costa Rica. Been to Costa Rica 3 times. Been to Nicaragua. Been to Panama. Kind of want to go to Colombia. I want to go check that out. I've heard mixed reviews.
They pushed out the drug cartels, so the whole war on drug cartels.
They're all gone, but there's still like massive petty crime. Like you really got to watch your wallet. You really got to watch your wallet. And I don't like country. I mean, even the Philippines, it's not that bad.
Respect. We'll talk about that last, but it's like Philippines. You got to be experienced, man. You got to be experienced. Like that's the advice I heard is don't go down there thinking you're just gonna go crazy party. You get robbed, you know. So
yeah.
You gotta have some tough skin, you know. But yeah. So anyway, have you been to? So you've been to Spain, España, Italy?
Yeah, I went to Spain last year. This time last year, I was in Spain. Like right now,
you showed me pictures of that delicious food. You were eating well. Oh man,
an octopus, and I had a great time. Yeah, Spain was good. There's no English. They don't speak English at all in Spain. Like hardly at all. Like because nobody.
English is similar to Latin. It's got a Latin basis, so I thought maybe.
Yeah, but they just don't. I mean, I speak Spanish enough to get by. Like I can order food, and I can ask for the bathroom, and I can ask if I want a hotel room. But it's really basic. I can't really say, "Hey, why can I get some?" I can't get too. It's very basic things like where, and I sound like a 3-year-old. You know, I'm like.
But at least you make the effort. That's the whole point. Because they can see you making the effort. You know, it's a bit like
get it. It just sounds like they're talking to it. It's like a 3-year-old trying to talk to him, and they're like, "Oh, okay, I see what he's trying to ask me." You know, but my pronunciation, I just don't have the vocabulary. I just don't have the.
Trouble tip: you can use translators on your phone now. You can type in English, and it will convert it to their language, but also in audio.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They're not perfect, but you can, even just by typing, like, where do I find the bus station? At least a local can go, oh, yep, okay. And they can.
Yeah. And I use that a lot. It doesn't work with Asian languages very well, though. It definitely doesn't work in Cambodia. It doesn't work in Vietnam. It works a little in Thailand, but like the Google has a long ways to go with the Asian languages as far as
well, that's right, and the reason why it's like self-updating. Someone has to go in and correct it. So depending on how much feedback people put into the tool will depend on how quickly it evolves. So I was doing that with Thai girlfriends here. So here in Australia, we're being nice to each other, but it was so wonderful for communication because how can I say we had very honest conversations even by using the technology. They were like trying to communicate like what they wanted, and I was like, "Well, tell me what you want," and they wrote it in Thai, and I was like, "Oh, okay, you want to go on a date? Yeah, okay, let's go on a date."
All right.
So straightforward.
All right.
Show me a good time, and everyone is happy. Oh, okay. Yeah. Women need to communicate better. Women need to say things like that, you know. But
I can see what I would do is like, oh, I want to go on a date. I would be like, translate. All right. And they'd be like, what? They wouldn't get it, I don't think. There's some things that are just lost in translation, I think.
Well, that's the relationship. I call that the relationship barrier, you know, like that's the awkward chat you need to have, you know. So anyway. So awesome. Have you been to France and Germany? You've been to.
I have. I've been when I was younger. I've been to France and Germany. Yeah, and I want to go to Germany again. I like Germany a lot. France is all right. I mean, I like it, but I think Germany now as an adult has a lot more to offer. I think it'd be like a lot more fun to go there, and I think it would be. I would appreciate it more. But I think Germany.
They're famous for their meats and beer. I'm not kidding.
Every German I've ever met speaks really speak English well. They do. France and Spain is probably the worst English-speaking countries you can go to in Western Europe. I think it is.
Like, oh, merda. Monsieur Scott.
I speak a little German, but it's all really, really bad. It's all.
I only speak gun manufacturers' names. So just for the German friends, that they'll know what I'm saying. So there's a gun company called Heckler and Koch, and the Americans often say Heckler and Koch, Heckler and Koch, whatever. So it's Heckler and Koch, but in German it's Heckler und Koch. Heckler und Koch.
Heckler und Koch.
Yeah, you got it. You made the accent. And the other one is Steiermann Liesche.
And everything I ever learned is my buddy's parents were German, so they would yell. They would be like, "Was ist los? Du hast deine Koffer kaputt?" Like they'd be like, "What's wrong with you?" They literally translated to like, "Is your suitcase broken?" And it was like it meant like, are you? Is there something wrong with your head? Like,
they come off as very serious. I've worked with some professional Germans. They come off as very serious, but I have met very flamboyant Germans. Not Austrian. Austrians can be very flamboyant. No, they're very flamboyant, like this. Oh, good morning and good to see you.
No.
Like Germans very flamboyant, so but
they'll just look at you and go, "What is wrong with you? Are you stupid?" Like, I mean, Germans are very blunt. Like they're like, well,
they're very serious. They come off as very serious.
Yeah.
No, but that's why they're great to work with. They're professional. Like, let's get this project done. Let's not screw around. They're very hardworking, So anyway, let's move on.
Like, oh, I am surprised that your van is still running. It is quite a piece of shit. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's pretty. That's pretty honest. Like, that's pretty honest. They're like, okay. Well.
No, someone didn't answer the phone, and this German goes, "Hey, your duty is to answer the phone. Why did you not answer the phone? This is not correct." Yeah, they're lazy, right? They're lazy. That's why they didn't answer. This is not correct. This is not correct behavior. But anyway, let's move on. We got to get talking about Philippines eventually.
Where are we going?
Asia. Now you've been to what? Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia,
Cambodia, Indonesia, Thailand.
Right. Not Malaysia.
No,
not Malaysia or Singapore.
Not Malaysia. I've been all over Indonesia. I've been to.
We should go, man. We should go.
Okay. Indonesia is nice. I was the only guy. I was the only tourist in all of Jakarta. It was pretty awesome.
Sorry, I gotta give some guys some shout outs. BD Coop, thanks for chatting. We got Mike Lee. Hey, Mike Lee. Thanks for joining us. He went to Medellin or Medellin, so it's spelled Medellin.
How did he like it?
He said he went last month. It was awesome. Oh, okay, Medellin. Medellin's awesome. Okay. Apparently,
I don't care about how safe it was. I don't want to say how safe it was, but I'm like, how was petty crime? Like, did you feel like, was there?
Okay, we'll let Mike answer it. Yeah, so Mike, be real, huh? Like, don't worry. Maybe one day we'll go down there. I'll vlog it. I'll make some videos.
Me all you want. Just don't take my wallet.
Yeah. Then we know what to expect, right? Like, then we know what to expect. But yeah, so Mike Lee, thanks for sharing. Yeah, tell us about Colombia. But apparently it's pronounced Medellin. So we have to say Medellin. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we say Medellin, but it is Medellin. Yeah.
Yeah, just a local accent. I learned that from another traveler. And Coop wants to know where would you like to retire, Scott?
I'd like to commute. I mean, I don't think I would just go to I like the Philippines, okay? And I do like the Philippines, but I mean, I would like right now I could probably go and just like commute. Like I would like to spend maybe, this time of year I should be in the Philippines where it's nice and like hot, but not too hot and not rainy.
To answer the question, Mr. Rogan, to answer the question, you would like to retire in Philippines, or I want you to.
I think Philippines would be good, but I would not retire in any country. I would come back because where I live in the summer, it's really nice, and there's really nowhere better here than the summer. I really like it here in the summer. There's money to be made, and it would be foolish to be in because like in August in Philippines, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's raining. It's miserable. And here it's beautiful and sunny. It's like I want to go back and forth. I would have to have two places.
I'm just trying to think when I traveled because I've been there all year round. I'm just trying to think what was it like in August.
August is rainy season. Yeah, that was when Brian was posting all those floods. Remember when the streets?
Yeah. Okay, I was in Cebu. No, I was just trying to think where I was at the time. I was in Cebu.
I've been in Thailand in August, and man, it's straight up monsoon like all the time.
Well, just to share with the friends, I was in Cebu City and it was flooded. Like we're in a car and it became a submarine. We call it the Pinoy submarine.
And that's like the best month where I live right now. That's like the best month of the year. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. The sun's out. The birds are singing. Like I'd be stupid to not be here in August. And it's like there's endless work because in the winter everything kind of like comes to a bottleneck because the days are short, the nights are short. So everybody has, I mean, there's endless work. If you can swing a hammer or do anything, you can make $20 an hour doing anything in the summer. So you'd be silly to like be hanging out in the Philippines in the rain when you could be in America enjoying the summer and making money and whatever. I mean,
Scott, I'll just interrupt. Mike Lee replied. Mike Lee said downtown Medellin felt dangerous and felt like I had to watch my back constantly. But if you stay in Poblado, it feels safer than the States. Lots of foreigners in Poblado. Oh, I see. That's the tourist area. Okay.
Yeah, Poblado is just a suburb. Okay, that's good to know. That's good information.
Poblado.
Poblado.
Borracho. Ah, crazy.
Poblado is muy bueno.
You get the booty. Anyway. Big booty. Anyway, so yeah. I actually spoke to a Colombian.
Women are known to be attractive. Is all I'm going to say here on your nice.
It's a very old video. Just to interrupt quickly, it's a very old video. But I was in Perth City, and there was a beautiful Colombian girl working in the Hyatt Hotel. Lynn, I think it was Lynn. Yeah, and she was gorgeous, man. She didn't keep in touch, but yeah, very beautiful girl. But anyway, and nice, very very ladylike. She was very friendly. And then she said, "Oh, Brandon, you're so nice." I go, "Why?" She goes, "You never mentioned drugs once or the drug cartels." And I said, "Well, I'm trying to be nice, Okay, you have Pablo Escobar and Cali cartel, but
kind of a
yeah. So, but she said, people always say bad things about Colombia. It's not so bad, Anyway, all right, we'll keep going. So I guess, well, since you're already talking about Philippines, so you haven't been to Malaysia and Singapore.
No, I haven't. No.
Maybe we should go. No, maybe we should go sometime.
I've been to the airport.
yeah, best airport in the world. Because I actually want to check out the airport.
Nice airport. Man, that was a great airport.
Well, it's meant to be the best in the world. You can have showers there and have beds.
I've been to Singapore airport 5 times. I've never been outside.
Yeah. Well, I went when I was very young. I went to Singapore and Malaysia when I was very young. I'm just thinking, where else? How did you find Indonesia? I'm not keen to go there, to be honest. I'm not particularly keen.
No, I liked it. I liked Indonesia. I just figured it'd be kind of a cool place to explore, and it's really inexpensive and it's nice. And I met.
Oh, sorry. And Mike Lee said, if you want more of a local feeling in Colombia, Laurels is pretty safe.
Okay.
Laureles is pretty safe. I stayed there for 2 nights and went for a great soccer game. Oh, yeah.
Okay. How do you spell it? How do you spell it?
You'll see it later in the comments. It's Laureles, like Laureles.
Laureles.
Maybe I can send it to you. Yeah, I'll send it to you later. But
I've turned off all my streaming, so I won't be so grainy. And
yeah, no, you're cool. Yeah, like I said, that's why it's cool to document it too. We can check it later. But because for the viewers, Scott and I were talking about Colombia. That's why, and I kind of was like, I don't think it's ready yet. But hey, I mean, maybe Scott, you want to go down there by yourself or something, or with some other mates.
You know what's detracted me is always it's not really expensive to fly down there. I can fly to Colombia for $700 round trip, or I can fly to Asia for $800 round trip. And I know it's waiting for me in Asia. I know I'm going to have a good time. So I get lazy. I mean, I just get lazy because
40%, the 40% cap, David Goggins.
My brain just goes, let's not, don't go chasing waterfalls. You stick to the rivers and the lakes you're used to.
Correct. But I think you're so experienced, you would be fine. Like a noob, and we'll get onto that too. But a noob would just get jacked. They'll just get rolled even a friend of mine, he's a very experienced traveler. He got robbed in Spain recently. He was traveling, and 3 guys jumped him.
Yeah,
like he was in a tourist area. He was going down a dark alley towards his hotel. Only a few meters away, and these 3 guys jumped him. They beat him up and took his cash. You know.
Yeah.
España.
And they don't really prosecute those crimes, and that's a shame because it's like
it's hard because they beat him up and ran off. You know, like
they don't prosecute those guys. They give them like 3 days in jail and say, oh well, you shouldn't do that.
It's been going on for a while. Meaning, no disrespect to Spain, but their economy's been suffering very badly. So obviously, you're starting to feel the effects. Yep.
That's why open carry is a good thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell you what. Like, he's actually a very stocky guy. He goes to the gym. He said he fought. He wasn't like a pushover. He was fighting about 3 guys. He was taking hits, you know. And they actually tackled him. One put him in a headlock, and the other 2 held his arms while they tried to get his wallet out and took his cash, you know. And he's still trying to bite them. He's doing the right thing. He's trying to bite them and elbow them. And
see, in America, we have a saying: if you shoot one of them, the rest of them get the idea.
Yeah, that's
you don't have to kill all 3, right? You just got to shoot. Right. I mean, that's acceptable losses. All right. I mean, that's acceptable losses, and it thins out the herd.
Yeah.
Now there's one less guy.
Yeah.
Now they just got to jump you with 2 guys, and it's like, that's not enough.
Like the cowards, right? The cowards. Oh, well, we need 3 guys to take on 1. That's not very fair.
You're gonna run out of guys.
Yeah, so you got to even the odds. That's right. You got to shoot 1 in the foot and 1 in the balls, and you got to even the odds. Yeah, so anyway, let's continue because we're getting distracted. So I guess
we're going off the rails.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I'm getting murdery.
A lot of Australians go to Bali, Indonesia, and Bali's a very well-known tourist area.
Kuta Bali is where all the Australians go. Kuta.
Yeah, but it's
like Kuta. I like Kuta. I'm sorry, it was all right. It was okay.
No, I'm not ripping on it because I asked my friend who spent some time there. He used to go every year, and he said, "Look, it's not the same as Indonesia. It's a tourist area. Don't think Indonesia's just like that. That's just like a tourist trap. Like it's for tourists. They spend their money there, whatever. But it's still a Muslim country. So he rented a motorbike and went all around Indonesia. He's like that. He likes to motorbike. Yeah. And he said very different. He said very, very different country. Yeah.
Well, see, that's a cool thing I learned about Mexico, too, when I drove through Mexico. Like, you stop in towns, and some towns are rough, and some towns are nice, but you see a cross-section. But when you get to a place like Cabo San Lucas, now it's just like, Hard Rock Cafe, Cabo Wabo. It's just all the commercial. It's, and people...
Yeah, there's appropriate areas. There's appropriate tourist areas and commercial areas, and yeah.
My favorite thing that people used to say to me, they're like, "Oh, really? Oh, well, how long are you guys down here for?" It's like, "Oh, what airline did you take?" "Oh, we didn't take an airline. We drove down here." And they look at you like,
"Yeah,
you could have flown, right?"
Like, what's wrong with you?
They're just like, "What are you, cheap?" I'm like, "No, it's more expensive to drive." They're like, why would you drive? Like it's thousands and thousands of kilometers.
I just saw a video clip. Someone posted it of the lineup on the Mexican border, like with Tijuana. It's quite long. Yeah, you have to wait a long time.
Sometimes, well, now you do because now they've got problems. Yeah, but before it wasn't too bad. Getting in wasn't so bad. Getting out took a while. Yeah.
Okay.
An hour, not forever. I mean, an hour.
All right. Well, it's a choke point. There's a lot of traffic going in and out. So yeah. Okay, sure. All right. So
we always love the questions the U.S. border guards ask because what they do, they're trained to engage you in conversation, but they ask the weirdest questions because they I don't even know how to, I'm gonna just give you an example, but it's like they'll say, "Oh, how you guys doing?" Because they want to see your eye movement. They want to see your eye movement because if you're looking down, you're thinking. If you're looking up, you're lying. I can't remember the whole thing.
They want to see if you'll break. They want to see if you'll break and start sweating. They want
to see your nervousness. They want to see. Right. So if they ask you just the basic questions, it only takes 1 minute. It only takes. Sorry, it only takes like 10 seconds. So they ask you a series of weird questions. So they say, "Okay, how long were you in Mexico?" You go, "Oh, we were there for a month." "Oh, okay, what were you doing down there?" I'm like, "Oh, we just drive down there every year, and we have some fun." They're like, "Huh? What cities did you stop in?" I'm like, "We stopped in about 15 different cities." He goes, "Which one was your favorite?" I go, I like Cabo because there were strip clubs. I try to be confident, right? Just to joke with them. And they're like, all right. They're like, what's your favorite Mexican food? Like, you're like, what? Yeah. Like, but they just ask all these questions.
They're like, just trying to break you. They're just trying to test you. Like,
yeah. They say, do you have any drugs in the car? And you go, no. They go, are you lying to me? I'm like, no. They're like, are you sure
no. No.
No. And then there's like this awkward silence. And then the silence, it's like a 30-second silence. And I'm like, seriously, no drugs. They're like, what if we tore your car apart and looked at all your stuff? I'm like, well, that's up to you, buddy. Like, I'm like, I don't give a shit. And he goes, all right, see you later. He's like,
yeah, they're just testing you. They're just testing you, man. But
but they say all kinds of weird stuff. Like, does your mother like Mexico? Like, what? Like, what kind of weird question is that?
I was very young. I went to Israel. I went to Israel when I was young for pilgrimage to go see the Holy Land. There's a lot of these historical sites. So Israel. Now they're the most professional I've ever. I mean, this is a long time ago, but of all the countries I went to Europe, Italy, Holland, Malaysia, Singapore. We did a bit of a world tour and family trip. Israel was the most professional, and they got experienced security forces, right?
Oh man, they're machines, man. They're the machines.
But just to give you an idea, they're the only security force in the world that didn't make me take off my boots. Some places make you take off your shoes. No, because they knew their stuff. I had steel cap boots on, which was maybe not the wisest idea, but anyway, because they knew what they were. They go, those are military style boots. I went, yep, and I wore them for that reason, so they'd be very tough while traveling.
Yeah, right.
And they just used the metal detector and ran it all around the boot. And they still didn't make me take them off. Because I knew that type of boot. They use them themselves at that time. This was in the 90s. This is in 2000, year 2000. So they go, don't worry, we use the same type of boots, relax. They just use the metal detector all around. They just want an inconsistent reading. Because if it's inconsistent, they know there's something inside it.
Right.
Yeah, they're smart. They don't need you to take it off. As long as it's consistent reading, they know that it's clean. But if there's something goes beep, beep, like in the middle, then they know something's hidden in the middle. So
that's
the only...
Really, soldier is a rough gig. That's a rough gig.
So anyway, that's basic security check. Metal detector, all that, right? Not a problem. Yep. You empty your pockets and all that. Then there's the interviewer. They'll say, because they can stamp your passport. So for the viewers at home, no visa, no trip. This applies to any country. No visa, no trip. All right. Yeah, people are very airy-fairy. They don't realize the rules apply. So we already had our visa approved in Australia, but they still check it. They go, where were you born? What area did you grow up in? Who's your mother? Who's your father? They're doing the check, are you who you say you are? So they're already checking all this stuff, right? But they were cool. They're always very calm and very cool about it. And they said, okay,
answer some questions really quick. I'll be right back. 30 seconds.
No, I already kind of have. Already kind of have.
Anybody else chiming in?
Oh, and by the way, guys, Scott put up his fire backdrop. That's actually flames. That's actually the fire. Representing trial by fire, the harshness of life. Very poetic.
I'm Fire Pro, man. I'm the Fire Pro. That's why it's a shameless plug.
Okay, you want the plug? All right, I'll just because I wasn't sure if you want to talk about it.
I'm the Fire Pro.
Shut up. Take your piss. Shut up, so I can keep talking. So, because the camera keeps changing. Scott is actually a tradesperson. So Scott's a tradesperson, and he does chimney sweeping and cleanup. So that's why he's got the whole fire backdrop, because he does chimney sweep in Washington State. So yeah, there you go. That's the thing. So we'll get to that, Coop. Thank you, DB Coop. We'll get to that soon. I think Scott's just going to the CR. He's taking a toilet break. I'm not sure. Scott and I were talking about next year, maybe. We're talking about early next year, but nothing's locked in yet. And Scott, we'll talk more offline about that, yeah?
Yeah.
But you go ahead and book early. If you want to book it, you book it. Because I don't want to hold you up.
I'm going to try to book for February. I got to get out of here. It's getting way too cold and wet. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. But I'm only going to go for a month this year. I'm only going to go for like 30 days, maybe 40 days tops. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so now that you're back and we're on topic, segue. So Coop, I'll let you know, like I'll announce it, but for some reason people don't follow it. Like I announce on my channel every time I travel and people don't follow it. They get surprised. So I don't know. You got to check the channel. You got to check the updates. But Yeah, I'm not sure yet. Maybe early next year. And since Scott's back, I'll go ahead and ask you about Philippines.
Okay.
Okay, so what are your top 5 places and why?
Well, I do like. Let's see. What are my top 5 places?
Don't overthink it. No, don't overthink it. Just kind of.
I like Porto Galera a lot. I like Porto Galera a lot because not more for the convenience, just because it's so close to Manila Airport, and then there you are.
Okay, sorry, I'll be more concise. I want you to say the names first, and then we'll talk about them. So which one? So Porto Galera.
I will say Angeles City.
Angeles City. Yep.
Yep. I like
Pampanga.
Yep. I like Palawan. Palawan.
Well, that's a region. Is there anywhere specific in Palawan?
I like Port Barton. Port Barton is a really nice.
Yeah.
Port Barton is.
Really nice. But Palawan in general is yeah, I mean, it's a small region. It's nice.
It's okay, but I mean, it's Port Barton's better than El Nido because it's like, as long as you're going quiet and chilled out, then Port Barton's better. I think Port Barton's the best.
Okay.
But I like driving. I just like being on a motorcycle and driving.
I'm gonna write this down. So keep going. Porto Galera.
I like Naga.
Angeles City, which is in Pampanga, and also Port Barton.
I like Naga.
Oh, Naga is what? North Cebu?
No, it's all the way down. It's all the way down. Gosh, Naga. It's something. Well, it's like Cam Sewer. Have you ever heard of Cam Sewer?
I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna Google it now. Naga.
Naga is awesome. Yeah, Naga is awesome.
I'm just thinking. I know someone from there. That's why.
It's awesome. They got a big volcano. They got a big volcano. They got a water.
Camarines Sewer. Okay, yeah.
I can't think of it now. It's something. Yeah, you're right. Sewer. It's
near Batangas. Yeah, that's below Manila. It's near Batangas. No.
Yeah, but no, below Manila, like by.
Sorry, that's the L.
8 hours.
Hold on, just for the viewers. Luzon is an L shape. You got Manila. You got an L shape, and then there's islands down below like that. So that's down there. Okay.
Got a lot of interesting stuff down there. Yep, I like it down there. And
Naga. Okay, Naga.
I like Sagada and Banawi. I like that. I like Sagada and Banawi a lot. Like that's really nice up in the rice fields.
When did you go there? Because I love Sagada too. When did you go there?
I was there 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years.
Yeah, I went there first trip. I loved it. So Sagada is north of Manila. For people who don't know, Sagada Mountain Province.
And with the caves, they got caves. The caves down there are awesome. The rice terraces are awesome. There's hot springs. So there's 5, right?
Yeah. I wish I spent more time there. I wouldn't actually mind going back. Actually, I'm getting nostalgic. It was really nice there. Yeah.
Like Baguio is okay, but it's so crowded. Like Baguio would be nice if it wasn't so crowded and overrun. It's overrun by Koreans. I mean, there's just so many that you can't even get a taxi.
I didn't know that. I believe you. I didn't know that, but I did find it crowded. Surprisingly, it was very, very crowded when I was there.
It was so packed full of. I mean, I'm not saying it's where Korean. That's like one of the Koreans' favorite places. I mean, you can't even get a taxi. Like I sat there and waited 45 minutes for a taxi one time. It's like, come on, man.
That's something wrong with that. Yeah, I was getting jeepneys every like 5-10 minutes. They just stop. They see a foreigner.
Yeah. But I mean, the jeepneys were packed. The freaking cabs were packed. There was
you got to sit in the roof. Yeah, you got to sit in the roof. Literally, they put people on the roof. Yeah.
Place is a zoo.
Yeah, it's funny, because
but I liked it. I liked it there. I would say that's a number 6. That's a 6 optional. Number 6 optional. I had a good time.
Okay, let's focus on that. No, but for the viewers who don't understand, Sagada and Baguio in the mountains, so it's very cool. It's very cold. So you will have to wear jackets, but you have a much cooler environment. And you got strawberry farms and orange farms, meaning things that are suitable for the cold climate. And a bit fresher.
And Sagada, there's a different people too. It's like they're more of a mountain tribe than they are than the regular Filipino. They're more like, they almost remind me of like people from Peru or something like that.
They're often very softly spoken too. You'll notice that. I found them very friendly, but you'll find they're a bit more softly spoken, a bit more reserved. Yeah,
and I didn't notice there was not many people trying to like hassle you or scam you or anything. There was very little of that. There was almost none of that.
They're very like keep to themselves, just peaceful, and
they're just like farm people that are just like, hey, we don't have internet, but you're welcome to stay here. Man,
people still don't get it. people still don't get it that a lot of the country isn't connected. They don't have internet. They don't have phone.
No, they don't have anything.
We don't say that to this. We're not dissing anyone. We're not disrespecting anyone. It's just the reality check. Like, you don't need to get so butthurt. You know, it's a factor, and it's refreshing. It's refreshing when you're not obsessed with your internet and phone all the time.
They don't care at all.
Yeah. No. As in, for us, too, it's detox. It's detox, man. We're not worried about the internet and the computer.
Just hiking through rice paddies and like walking through rice fields is really cool. Like, I really like it. Like, there's something about it. Like, they're just like, wow, this is really the rice terraces.
Okay, so DB Coop. So we already covered the 5, but I'll get you to we'll flesh it out more. But DB Coop said, "What are both your thoughts on whether the Korean and Chinese tourists will destroy the simple life of the Philippines and turn it into Boracay?" So DB Coop, I'm not sure where you're from, brother. I'm gonna check your profile now.
I'm not sure if they. I mean, they're already there. They've been there a long time. They've been there a long time.
Yeah. So DB Coop, I think it's kind of what you. How can I say it? I want to say it well. It doesn't make sense what you've just said because it's part of that island group. So even since ancient times, you got Japan, Korea, China. And then you've got Philippines. Like, they've all been trading together for a very long time. They trade, they do business, they got people living in each other's countries.
It seems like this happens a lot. Like in Vietnam, Russians descend on one town. They descend on one town, and they take that town over. And it's like not even worth visiting that town because all you're doing is visiting like little Russia. You're not visiting Vietnam. You're visiting. I mean, even the road signs are in.
I just want to make sure I answer. I want you to answer his question too. Just to make sure I answer it. So, Coop, it's not a problem. It's not a problem.
It's not a problem, but in certain cities, you're going to find that like where they cater to a certain ethnicity because that ethnicity is just like just hitting that place hard. And like, but I don't think like in Manila, you're hard pressed to like walk around and see like a lot of Japanese, and you're not going to see any Japanese or Koreans or anything. I mean, Manila will always be Manila.
I think I get where Coop's coming from. I'm more worried about the Western tourists, the Europeans, the Americans, the Australians. Right?
There are not enough of them because the plane flight's too long.
Correct. I know, but the problem is, Australia's close, so there's more chance of drunk Australians getting in fights and ruining the place. Crashing it. You got to understand something, Coop. When people are on vacation, like we've had this experience ourselves. We're very experienced, but they don't act the same. They don't act the same as they would in America or Australia. So they get drunk, they get in fights, they go crazy, take drugs. Riding around on motorbikes and getting in crashes, it's just you can lose yourself very quickly. That could happen to anyone. So,
and Koreans are more self-contained. Like they don't get that crazy. Like they're way more self-controlled. But they just show up in numbers. Like they just show up in numbers. I mean, that's just what they do.
They're very cliquey. Like I even tried talking to some. They didn't want to talk to me. It wasn't like too rude.
I was pretty good friends with one I met up in Sagada, and then we hung out and like we were, but yeah, we had a good time, but I mean, it was like, normally they are normally like, you can walk up to a table of whoever and go, "Hey, how's it going?" They're like, "Oh, where are you from? What's going on?" But you can't do that with like Japanese and Koreans. They're like, "Hey, man, you're not one of us. Get out of here."
Yeah. Usually that is very, like they won't even reply. They'll look at you. They'll just look at you and go, "Okay," and turn around like they don't want to do. They don't want to deal with you, man. Yeah.
Because they just don't know how to. They don't know. It's not because they're being rude. I don't think. I think they just don't know how to deal with the situation because it just doesn't happen in their culture. It doesn't happen in their culture. They're like, "Oh, this guy's." We were talking
about this earlier. Yeah, it's very very cliquey. Like just culturally, they're going through a lot. So, yeah.
But they got their own problems. Anytime you see somebody, I mean, man, if somebody walked up and said hi, and I couldn't look them in the eye and go hi back, then I got my. I'm saying that's a social deficiency that you have. Like you're messed up somehow in the head. I feel, but I mean, I'm not asking you to be my best friend. I mean, just say hi. That's it. Like we're done. Like that's it.
I think it's a little bit of fear and paranoia. They're like, well, we don't really want to deal with this, so we're just going to stick in our own clique, even though we're in another country. It's like, yeah, they're like, we don't want to deal with it. But anyway.
I mean, and we're all guilty of it. But I mean, and Americans are like that too. Like
I'm like that too sometimes. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Americans are really. They're like, well, I mean, there are so many guys I know. If they went to Asia, all they would be doing is going to McDonald's every day and Burger King, and they would just like, oh man, I don't want to eat all this weird food. Like, but dude, that's what
I will say. Look, I will say I was shocked how many Koreans I did see in Philippines, and the logical explanation is they go there to learn English because it's also cheaper to study there.
Yep.
They'll go there and do even just an English course, or even do a full blown degree or diploma. And yeah, it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon they even like it and stay. They get a Filipino girlfriend or wife.
They're not really there to interact and learn a culture. They have no interest.
They are. That's what I mean. I know of girls that have told me they had Korean boyfriends because they studied together in university.
Okay.
Yeah, so right. and they liked it. They liked it and stayed. So they finished the university or college, and then they either got married or they kept on as boyfriend and girlfriend. And
okay,
you know, it's not uncommon for them to settle there as well. And then of course you got tourism, the normal tourist partying, and they party crazy. Scott and I were talking about that earlier. Koreans party crazy, man. They go wild. They go wild.
Yeah, I've actually had a good time with with some Koreans. Actually, I really have.
Yeah, no, I dated a Korean here. Very nice.
I had really cool times when I was in Japan. I had really cool times with Japanese kids, you know, guys that they were in their like early 20s and they spoke good English. They were just like, man, you're coming with us. Like it's the older Japanese don't want to deal with you, but the younger Japanese, they're like, hey man, come on, you're gonna dig this. Like, you know,
I'm not kidding. You're not the only one who's told me. Other people I know who have been to Japan to teach English or as a vacation, they said the same. They said
they're fun.
They're trying to break because they want to break the stereotype. The previous generation were very serious corporate Japanese, you know.
Yeah, they're
like, come, visit, enjoy, come with
us, buddy. We're gonna put you on Facebook, and you're coming out tomorrow, and we got plans for you. And set me up, man. I have some great friends in Japan. I have some great friends.
Just so we can stay on point, we'll flesh it out a little more, just so guys can understand. Gosh, we covered so much. Let me see what I wrote it down. Okay, Porto Galera. So why Porto Galera? That's Sabang, yeah, or below Manila.
Porto Galera is just nice because it's just straight down from Manila. It's like a 3-hour ride. It's got nice white sandy beaches. There's snorkeling. We went snorkeling there. There's stuff to do there. There's activities, and it's very convenient. It's like you don't have to, you can get off the bus and like recuperate like over there until you get your feet straight, and then you're ready to go travel more. Because after that plane ride, and you don't want to be in Manila. Like as soon as you hit Manila, you got to get out of Manila. Like I don't want to be
traffic, man. I don't mind it. I actually don't mind Manila now. I'm used to it. Like. I'm not kidding. Duterte has helped. You can notice the change. It's a bit more cleaned up, a bit more disciplined.
Yeah, I just don't like that. It's just like every time you go in for a drink, they're just like, "Oh, here he comes!" Like it just seems like it's like a scam. Everybody know, like, oh, perfect.
I like how you say it. It's like you don't even make it around the corner. You go around the corner, the kids are already picking your pockets. They're already shaking your pockets. Yeah,
it's just everybody. You gotta watch. You gotta be on point so much. Or even in Angela City, it's like a hellhole, but at least it's like, you don't have to be like on point all the time. Like you can wander around and like you'll be all right. But it's like, God, Manila is just you gotta have your wits about you in Manila at all times. Like there's no rest. There's just no damn rest in Manila.
Like even some guy will open a door for you. You owe me 20 pesos now. You're like, oh, and now you get in an argument. And you're like, what's wrong, man? Get out of here. It's every
time.
Yeah. By the way, just to, shout out some tips. 50 pesos is a good tip. If someone complains, go, okay, no tip. 50 pesos is a good tip. It's fair. Do it yourself in person.
Yeah, that's huge.
And especially so just say you had a good taxi or you had a good meal, give them a tip. 50 pesos is enough. Even 20 pesos is enough. But a viewer did ask, it was a good question. He goes, what about a hotel? You might be at a hotel for 1 week, 2 weeks. I was like, okay, pick the staff members that you liked, and you must give them the tip yourself.
Yeah.
Because I made that new mistake. I said, look, here's 100 pesos each. Give that to the staff. What do you think happened? The girl took it for herself. Do you know what I mean? So
I gave a taxi driver a 1,000 peso tip one time. Not because his service, It's the wrong note, man. Those purple in the wrong light, the purple and the blue. So here's a good travel tip. Okay,
I'm gonna see if I can find the note. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Okay. So here's a good travel tip in the Philippines. Take your 1,000 pesos, fold them in half, and stick them in a compartment in your wallet that is separate from your main money. Right?
Yep.
Like stick them back, like stick them. So then all you have is hundreds.
Yeah, brother, look.
It is so easy.
Right.
Fuck 100 with 1,000. So in the wrong light.
Right, Scott. No, because I don't understand. Wait, this is 100 pesos for the viewers.
Yeah.
Right? See how it's like a purple color, very nice purple color. Sometimes in the dark, you'll confuse it with the blue, the 1,000 peso, which is blue.
If there's red lighting in a cab or something, you cannot tell the color difference. And we're talking about 10.
It's dark. No, look, guys.
There's drinks involved.
See, look at that. In a dark wallet at night, you don't know which is purple and blue, and you'll just get the 1,000, and you'll give the other too much.
So take your thousands, and there's this compartment in your wallet right here. You know, this little side compartment, like right in here. Put all your thousands in this little side compartment, and then only have your hundreds and 50s and whatever in this part. 20. You'll never, and then when you run out, just break out.
You got to compartmentalize it. Now, what guys don't understand, they always talk theory. They always talk bullcrap theory. When you get money change at an exchange, they give you large notes. So if you go change some money, they give you like 4,000 pesos in 1,000 peso notes. You don't get small bills. So what I do is I'll even go into a grocery store, like a supermarket or something, where they're going to have smaller notes, and I get them to change it. Or you just got to ask around. You got to ask around, because sometimes the money changer won't even give you. They'll only give you these, just the big ones. So that's why I have to go somewhere else and get the smaller ones. That's why I got all these small ones.
Hey, you know what?
Ideally, sorry, Scott.
Bill in America, like, I mean, $100 bill is like, sometimes people go, ooh, but you know, it's not that hard. But man, trying to pass a 1,000.
Sorry, Scott, just so I can put this away. So that's why I get all these small ones, and I go, okay, that guy was good. I'll give him 20. That the hotel receptionist was good. Give her 50, like that, right?
Hey, you know, here's a good tip. Walk into McDonald's and say, I want one Coca-Cola. I want one Coca-Cola for 40 pesos. And they have to. McDonald's policy is we always have change, no matter what.
Yep.
Worldwide. So no matter what, you can go right out, and then you go right back into McDonald's. I would like one more Coca-Cola, please. And you can buy small change from McDonald's all day long.
That happened to me on.
Give it to you.
That happened to me in a Mang Inasal. Mang Inasal means the roast chicken, barbecue chicken.
That place,
Yeah, so I love it. great restaurant chain. And I went in like that with the 1,000 pesos, and they went, "Sir, you got anything else? Because it's only a 200 peso meal." I said, "No, I'm trying to break the note." They said, "Okay." They had to get the manager, and he had the cash box.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was their operating policy, because they're smart. They don't want to get robbed. So he came out and he changed it for me and said, "Look, it's no problem."
They got it. They just don't want to do it. But
yeah, but it's the same. It's the same. Hold on. So we don't talk over each other. It's the same in Australia. We don't like to have too much cash in the register, so we'll even take it to the bank. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because everyone uses card now, you know. And that's another tip too. So, guys, if possible, book your hotel with credit card or PayPal or whatever, and pay for your flights. You know, credit card, PayPal, whatever. The reason why, don't even deal with that. Try not to deal with the cash thing, because they skim cash. It's scams.
And I went over in Baguio. I had all thousands, right? And I'm like, I'm tired of this. This is getting so hard to like cash these. So I went into a bank and I said, "Hey, I got like 5,000. Can I just get smaller money?" And they go, "Sir, do you have an account here?" I go, "No, I don't have an account here. It's a bank." Like, and they're like, "Oh, we can't give you change unless you have an account here." I'm like, man,
you're lucky if they even deal with you, man. They're in the pits. Their banking system is shit. I'm just gonna say it. It's shit. It's so backwards.
Well, you can't give me change in a bank. I can walk into any bank in America and go, "Here's $100 bill. Can you give me all ones?" And they won't ask you any questions.
And just so the viewers don't understand, a lot of people in Australia and probably US use internet banking, which means you can do it on your phone.
Yeah.
They don't really do that in Philippines. It's just the infrastructure is not set up, and then culturally it's not there.
It's
so
not
the infrastructure is not set up and it's not there. So you still have to go in. You still have to pay with paper check. It's ridiculous. It's very behind. So I'm not saying that to diss it. I'm just saying these are the reality checks too, especially if you want to move there or live there. It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
How many people do we have watching this live chat there?
Oh, yeah, good question. We got to answer some questions. About 4 now. So thank you to the 4. 4
people. Hey, 4 valuable people. 4 valuable people. Not only 4 valuable people here.
4 people on the inner circle. The inner circle of life.
4 quality human beings.
All right, so Mike. Hey, Mike,
we love all 4 of you.
Mike, I appreciate your patience. So let's help out Mike. Mike Lee, I learned a lot about scams. Watch from this watching your channel. Oh, okay, thanks. Hey, that's the point I'm trying to share. Just get it out there. It's not. People get so butthurt. It's not to butthurt. It's like this is life. We need to learn to deal with life. You know, it's okay. We have scams in Australia too.
Scams. There's some scams that I can't really tell you about right now, but there's a couple of scams. Well, there's a couple of scams that they do. Like you really got to watch your change when you go to a place, because here's one of the
bus. They've done that to me. They've skimmed me on the bus.
You don't hear about. Here's one of the scams you don't hear about. Okay, when you go to a 7-Eleven or whatever, like, well, I mean, probably not a 7-Eleven, but like, you know,
anyway,
some other.
Anyway, yep.
Okay. What they do is like, let's say you spend 30 pesos. We're gonna do round numbers to make it easy, okay? Yep. And then what they do is you don't see what the amount is that you give them. So like, let's say you they'll do it with confusing numbers, okay? Because it's always like 37.4.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Scott. The most obvious one is called the short change. We do that. I told you that happened to me in Australia too, which was insane. So just say I was on the bus from Manila to Porto Galera, 157 pesos, like a weird number. They're meant to give you the 3 pesos. No, I'm not going to cry over 3 pesos. They know that. So they keep it. But can you imagine every passenger they've skimmed like that? 3 pesos. So, and I even said, Kuya, change. Oh, later, sir. I need to do the whole bus. So he's selling the tickets for the bus trip.
Yeah.
And of course, you don't hear about it again. You know, hey, Kuya, the change. I just wanted to see. I didn't care about 3 pesos.
But you want to see
later, you know.
Well, you know what? When he gets 3 pesos from 10 people an hour, that's not bad. Like that's nothing. It's better than nothing.
So they're just skimming the change, short change.
Okay. When you give somebody, like, let's say the bill is 30 pesos, right? At a convenience store, when they type in the amount that you give them, because it tells them what change to give you. They don't type 30 pesos, they type in 40 pesos. Okay, you don't see that number. All you see is the change that's due, which is 10 pesos. Then they hand you
on the receipt, on the register.
And your brain sees, I am due 10 pesos. Give me 10 pesos. And then they hand you 10 pesos. But you don't see what the amount, you forgot already what the amount is you gave them, because your brain immediately goes right to, hey, that's what you owe me, 10 pesos. They're like, yes.
It's called foreign attack, man. It's called foreign attack. No, it's just, look, because you're a foreigner, they've even said, like, I've seen people say it.
And if you're drunk or have a few drinks in you, they can see that coming, and they're like, this guy doesn't, because when they type in the amount that you gave them, it doesn't show up on your screen.
Yeah, so just to clarify, you're saying at the register, at the point of sale, they type in the wrong number. So they've already altered the number.
Less, and then when you leave, that's their 10 pesos. Because even on paper at the register, it works out on paper. It pencils out at the end of the night, because you gave them 50.
We had a chat about this.
40, they gave you back 10. You walk away happy, and they grab 10 pesos out of the till and walk away.
Yeah, so look, just to help the viewers understand, it's called a reconciliation, a bank reconciliation, or register rec. What happens, so this has happened to me in Australia too. So I used to work in a retail store, and just say it was $9.99 for a shirt, or it was $9.50 for a shirt, whatever, the customer would have to say keep the change. So at the end of the day, we add up all the receipts, the credit cards, the cash, the bank card, whatever, and we have to do a rec. So we got $100 in sales, and there's $100 in currency. Cool. And then there was some left over. So that was the change when they said keep the change. So that's fair. They were honest. We were honest. We get to keep the change. You know, it's only like $5 or $10 at the end of the day. But when they're doing it dishonestly, when they're intentionally putting in the wrong number, that's a problem. So that happens in Australia too. And I caught
in Mexico, they do this thing. They do the thing where it's like, excuse me, on a big scale. You know, they'll do like when you go in to fill up an RV, and it's like, okay, we're gonna do it in dollars because I'm not gonna do it in Mexican pesos because I won't be able. It's like, okay, because you have to prepay. You have to prepay,
right?
And you say, okay, here's $150. And then you come back and they go, okay, it was $75 worth of gas. Give me 75. They're like, oh, you only gave me 100, sir. You didn't give me 150. You gave me 100. There's no way to prove it. It's over. And there's one guy, it kept happening to him. And he talked to the manager, and the manager's like, yeah, that guy does that. Like, that's what he does.
Well, he goes, look, sorry to cut you off because we also got to move on. Sorry, Scott. We also have to move on because but I think people get the idea. But that's happened to me in Australia Post. The Australian Post Office. The freaking idiot, a lady who was working, or a woman who was working there, was actually doing that. I paid a bill, just say $150 or $153. She put in as if I paid her exactly, and when I paid cash, she kept the change.
Yeah.
So I complained. I said, get the manager. I said, no, you owe me some change. You put in the wrong number. But it's already in the register, you see, so it was hard to prove.
So that's exactly what it is. It's like there's no way to prove it because the money is out of your hands and it's over. Like it's over.
And that's why the West has also moved to to electronic culture. It's not just more modern and convenient. It reduces these cash scams. Yeah. So that way it's direct. It's more convenient. I don't need to go inside to pay a bill. I pay online. But then there's a direct trace that I paid the exact number online. Yeah. No problem. You know, so
you know how the guy solved it? You know, the guy solved it because it was his hometown, right? This was the point I was going to. You know how he solved it? He's like, okay, this happened to him 3 times. 3 times. And the guy goes, no, man. No,
3 times too much, man.
No, and the manager was like, hey, man, can't help you. I mean, guy says we trust him, right? So he goes, okay, here's 1,000 pesos. We'll do it in Philippine pesos. Here's 1,000 pesos. He goes, hold it up in the air. And he took a picture with his fucking phone with the guy with his pen. It's like, he goes, and I'm time stamping it. I'll be back. That's 1,000. We agree? And he goes, yeah. And he's like, it never happened again. Never happened again. He goes, every time now I'm going to take a picture of you with the money I give you. And he goes, the guy's like humiliated, but it's like, well, you're a thief, so be humiliated.
Yeah, exactly. Call him out. It doesn't matter what country, Australia, America, Philippines. You got to call him out. Why is it lying, man?
Fire you at a gas station, and this is what I got to do.
No, that was very clever. That was a very practical solution because it got it done.
Yeah,
got it done. No, but this is what people don't understand.
We're talking about pennies. We're talking about $50 bills. You know, we're talking about big, large money that he was trying to steal. This guy. You know,
if you don't hold people to account, they're just going to keep doing it. That's the reality check, right? So that's what the whole point of this. You know. So, Mike Lee, thank you for your patience because I want to answer some questions if he's still online. He said, "Does this taxi scam still happen after that girl Haley Dasovich made it viral?" Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does.
Oh yeah.
So what Mike's asking about is we've been getting more attention to taxi scams. Well, it's just the usual airport taxi. You know when they overcharge 300 pesos, 500 pesos, 1,000. Yep. So Mike, I've already covered it on my own video. So go ahead and check out my own video on taxi scams. It's that because we got enough attention on it, something was done. So they're now trying to regulate it more. They're hammering them. They're like, report them. We'll actually act on it. Before the government wouldn't act on it. Now they really are. So to answer your question, yes, they still happen, but less. And again, you got to do something like what Scott's saying. Take a picture of their ID. Usually they have an ID hanging up, their taxi ID. Take a picture of the number plate. Take a picture of their ID. Don't screw around. Don't be.
You can also. I've got a tip for Manila. Like Manila. I mean, the main airport. How do you pronounce it?
Naya. N-A-I-A. Naya. Or?
Naya. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. If you get out if you get out, which is the international terminal, I believe they shoot you out usually in Terminal 3. I believe.
Depends what flight. Like I take Terminal 2. But anyway, keep going. Yes, keep going.
Normally, whatever. I walk right out of that.
Good point. It's 3. Yeah.
I walk right out of that airport, and I walk across the street, 1 block up, 1 block over, and then I'm at a casino. And at the casino, there's an armed guard, and he's.
I heard about this. Sorry, can you say? I heard about this. So this is Terminal 3. You walk across the road. There's a casino.
Walk across the street. There's a Jollibee. There's a McDonald's, and you just walk across the street, and then you walk down a couple blocks. I mean, it's a little bit of effort, but I mean, usually I walk into the casino. I check my bag. I go in. I have a drink. Like I get some cash out of the cash machine. Whatever. Right. And then I come out, and then there's an armed guard at a taxi stand, and he gives you and the taxi guy a receipt. And if there's any problems, and he writes down the number of the taxi cab, and then if there's any problems, you go back to him the next day, and you go, hey, this guy ripped me off. And they go, okay, we're going to talk to this bastard because you're not going to be allowed to pick up anybody at our casino anymore. And they don't rip you off then. You know what I mean? It's like honesty and accountability.
They're doing that now at Naya. That's the problem. Something so simple. They're doing the receipt thing at Naya. They're recording one receipt, the number plate, the driver, and then they give you, and you keep it, guys. Don't just throw it. Keep it, and you can make a complaint. There's a number on the receipt to make a complaint. But that's what I mean. Don't feel embarrassed or shy or you don't want to rock the boat. That's how tough you got to be. So when I say tough, I'm not talking about this showing off. Hold on, Scott. Let me get it out. Okay. There's too much of this now, showing off. Oh, I'm on Instagram. It's about mental toughness, right? The noobs won't get it. Like, you got to take a photo of the number plate. You got to take a photo of the driver's ID, and you got to say something. So I know it's a pain, guys, but this is the grind, right? This is the grind you go through when you travel. It doesn't matter what country. So, but especially Philippines.
Yeah, and if you're late, there's a grab taxi. There's grab taxi.
Yeah,
booth.
sorry. Grab has a booth now.
They'll give you a price.
Grab has a booth. So you don't even Grab is a phone app. Grab car. You don't even need the phone app. They have a booth and they'll set it up for you. Yep.
Yeah.
Just like Uber.
And I've had a good experience with that. I've had a good experience. Yep. Right. People say it's a ripoff. I've heard people say it's a ripoff, but it was a fun because I know exactly how much it costs to get to my hotel. It's 190 pesos. Yep. To get to where I go.
It might be a little bit more. It might be, and which is fair. It's like the same as giving you a tip. Like it might be.
Right.
It might be like 250 instead of 200.
It's not 1,500 pesos.
Yeah, it's not like $3,000 and then they drop you off behind a mountain. So what guys you don't understand? They kidnap you.
Less. Yeah.
There's a mountain behind Naya, behind the airport. And what some drivers do, they'll take you to that mountain so you don't know where you are, and you're like, hey, where are we? Because you can't see the airport from behind the mountain, and they'll just dump you there. They'll be just like, pay me 3,000 or you're stuck here. And then, of course, you say no. You'll get out behind the mountain. And this happened to an Australian friend. And then luckily a trike driver saw him. He goes, no, you Filipinos are scammers. Leave me alone. And he's with his luggage, right? He's with his luggage bags. So he didn't want to pay this stupid 3,000. And then he said, sir, I know what's happened. Don't worry. For free. Get in my trike. I'll take you back to the airport. He's like, no. And then finally, it was a very hot day. Finally, he got in the trike. He said, sir, it's not a trick. He drove him and said, see, the airport's there. Went, oh, right. He goes, yeah, it's a scam. They drop you behind this mountain near the airport. And that's why he was very nice. He took him back to the airport and said, look, same thing. Take a photo of the number plate. Take a photo of his ID. Get the taxi receipt. So he was a very nice local guy, yeah.
I mess with them too. I mess with them all the time because they mess with you, and then I mess with them back.
But you know what it is? It's because I'm a vlogger now. They see me in the back with the camera, like, oh shit, he's a vlogger. Like that. They don't want me to catch him on camera. They're like, oh damn. But I've covered that too. I've covered like nice chats with the drivers in my videos. So.
I say silly shit to them because they're like, I'm like, oh, I have a. They're like, sir, taxi. I'm like, I have a car waiting. I go, I have a car waiting, and they go, no, sir. Only authorized cabs are allowed. Your car will not be let in. I go, I'm with the CIA. They're gonna let my car in. I guarantee it. And what's your name? And he's like, I'm out of here. He's like, I'm out of here. And I'm like, I'm with the CIA. Don't worry, they'll fucking let my car in. What's your name?
That he's like to me. This guy
around and ran. He was gone.
This guy, he said, why are you on the camera so much? You always picture. And I said, oh, I emailed Duterte. I'm showing Duterte, the president. He goes, oh, oh. He's like, please don't tell Duterte, please don't. He shit himself. But anyway, I told you about Davao City. I got a taxi in Davao City, and I was just being stupid late at night. And then my friend went up to the taxi driver, and he said, "You know who we are?" And he said, "No, sir." And he said, "And he goes, we're with the security forces, right?" And my friend did work with them. And he goes, "I got your number plate, all right? I saw your face. I got your number plate, all right? Don't make me come looking for you." Take him to his hotel, Davao Insular Hotel. And he said, don't overcharge. Don't you do anything naughty, or I'm going to come looking for you. Right? Now, for those that don't know, Davao City is the safest city in Philippines, right? And they smoke criminals over there. So, they hate drug dealers, they hate kidnappers, terrorists, yeah. So the driver got so scared when he took me to the hotel, because I was late, he carried me in. I was like, oh, what's happening? And he carried me in. And then the staff go, hey, so they had armed guards at the hotel. With armor lights, they had M16s. Yeah. And then the security guy goes, "Hey, did you touch his wallet? Huh? Did you touch him?" And he goes, "No, I'm carrying it. No, I'm not." So he said he has not even paid me yet. So the security guard went and checked the meter in his taxi. Okay, 87 pesos. And I said, "Oh, I'll give him 100." He's like, "No tip. No need tip. All right, just give him his 87." So I said, "No, it's okay." So they said, "Go get his change." They made him go back to the car, go get change. And,
the bad people are really bad, and the good people are really good.
Yeah, it's extreme. So that's what
dreams. Yeah,
that's what they said. They go, "Sir, we don't want you to think we're like that. Like we'll take you to your room. Don't worry, it's late. Don't worry, everything's fine." The receipt too. They go get a receipt. He wrote a receipt, but
oh my God,
he shit himself because you get smoked, man. You get smoked in Davao if you play,
But see, that's what I love. That's what I love is like when the security guards. I mean, they're not making much. I always tip my security guards. My security.
It's worth doing. It's worth doing. Again, 50 pesos, whatever. It's worth doing.
50 pesos every couple nights or something. Because I mean, man, they're living a hard life. Most of the time, they're asleep. They don't even wake up when you show up. But when they're there,
when you're earning, when you earn $5-6 a day, you're not motivated to do a good job sometimes.
Right.
And I asked him later in the morning. I thanked the staff. I was shaking them. Thanked the night shift, and I thanked them later when I saw them the next night. And they said, "So it's okay. Look, you have fun. It's fine. But we don't want you to think, people will take advantage or something like that." And they said, "Also, that's why you stay with us at Davao Insular, meaning good brand." They said, "We have a high standard. We don't want people getting robbed and taken advantage of and all these things." So, and I said,
what I do like is Filipinos and Filipinas are they're also getting ripped off.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad. Yeah,
they get robbed. They get robbed. They get knifed. They have to deal with crime and bullshit. Sad. So it's not like they're all like the country of the Philippines is trying to scam you. It's just some assholes that are trying to scam you.
Look, it's a hard life. I'm being serious. Respectfully, it's a hard life. So it's a very harsh environment. Not just the weather, like very hot weather and tropics. It's a harsh climate, and it's also a hard place to survive in. The economy and everything.
Also the local people that are poor, they're also getting robbed by taxis. They're also getting.
I mean, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Filipinos have recorded on their phones taxi driver ripping them off. No one did anything. So it's good that vloggers and bloggers started covering it more because the more attention we got, then something was done.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Mike as well. Just answer his questions. Thanks, Mike. What do I think of? What do I think of money belts? I don't use them. It will obviously depend on your body shape, but I don't recommend them. Nope. I have used them. I have used them very. I'll just get my little 2 cents out. I have used them very, very rarely to put like a passport or large amounts, like a couple of grand or whatever, just to move between cities. But it's inconvenient because you have to make sure you're in a secure place, like go into a toilet, lock the door, get out the cash, get out your passport, whatever. So I don't recommend them. What I do recommend is just locking down what you have. So cargo shorts, cargo pants, buttoning or zipping it shut. Because the problem is people are complacent. They go, I'm not going to worry. And then you lose your wallet because you didn't lock your pockets down. You didn't button them up. So yes, I don't care for money belts, but you use what works. Some guys do because maybe they have a different body shape. So what we were saying, you put your larger amount there, and then you might have a budget. Like you might have a budget for the day, $100, and then you lock the rest away. What I recommend is using a good hotel with a safe box, and locking up your passport and your cash in the safe box.
The only problem is with the safe box is that everybody has that key to open that thing up. I mean, they can
not necessarily. Yeah, that's a good point, Scott. And also, you might want to.
Safe box is very easy. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it if you have nothing else. But you know what I like, and I'm just gonna say this. I think I showed you my safe, right? What I do is I have a backpack, okay, and the backpack is and I take a knife and I cut the lining in one of the pockets in the back.
You're goddamn CIA, man. You're hardcore. But yeah, I've seen your pictures. I know what you mean. Yeah.
See that picture, and then I have a locked bag inside of that thing with inside of that like.
How's that working out for you, by the way? Because I remember when you did it. That was about a year ago.
What?
You did that about a year ago, 2 years ago? I remember when you showed me. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, it works great.
Okay, so Scott, what Scott's talking about, he did a mod. Just say this is a backpack, it's not. He did a mod where he actually put a steel wire lining inside, and then it's got a padlock. Is that correct?
It's a steel aircraft cable that's connected because my handle has a steel.
Yeah, like one of those steel wire cables, right? And you put it in the lining. Is that what you're saying? You put it in the lining.
I put a locked. It's a locked bank bag. It's a locked bank bag connected to a steel cable inside a lining where you and I cut the slit above the zipper, so you can't even see that there's a slit, and then back behind, like you could go through my whole bag and you would never find this weird bag back there because you can't get to it. You would have to know it's there. And then that way.
So just to keep it simple, the luggage case. A lot of guys will have the rolling luggage case. Just make sure you bring a padlock. I mean, you should be doing that anyway, and lock it shut, and then you've got yourself your own lockable case, so you can put your extra stuff in there. Obviously not on top. Put it in your underwear or something. Put it in your socks or your underwear.
Never stick your bag, and when you're on a bus or something like that, never.
These are inexpensive. Get a TSA approved one. These are very inexpensive, and I believe this is TSA. Oh no, it's not. Damn. Okay, I think I have a TSA one, but anyway, keep going, Scott.
When you're on a bus, never take, because you always have one bag that has your whole life in it. It has your passport, it has your flight itinerary, it has your money, it has your stuff. You got that one bag. Keep that bag. Don't put that bag in the overhead. Don't ever put that bag in the overhead. Don't I'm gonna, I'll keep my eye on it.
The fanny pack, the smaller bag, the fanny pack.
Well, like the bag that I have a whole backpack in it, and I keep everything in my whole. I mean, that's my whole life. Right. I don't when I'm on a bus, I don't stick it in the overhead compartment ever. I'll carry that thing with me. I don't care if it's cramped. Hug it. That's your pillow. Don't ever let it out of your possession, because people get off buses. They get off buses and they just grab that thing and they walk right off the bus.
So that's actually another good one. I wouldn't recommend money belt.
Never.
I'd recommend small backpacks and fanny packs. And the reason why, I know some people don't like it, they think it thinks it's daggy or dorky, but that way it's right there. You can still do the same thing. Zip it shut, even lock it if you so wish. Put a lock on it. But it's right there where you need it, and it's much more practical and convenient.
I always stick my money right next to my balls, because nobody's ever trying to get in my pants.
And that's a good story. Yeah. Well,
nobody wants that money.
Such a noob. No, because I used to do that. It's not convenient, man. It's not convenient. I'm well hung, and it's not.
That was just a joke.
No, it's sometimes when you get some action, the girl's like, "Whoa, jackpot!" This boy's loaded.
What are you talking about? It's never happened to me.
We're getting loose.
It's the famous place in the world. Nobody's ever going to go there.
That did happen though. That was quite embarrassing. She goes, "Oh, big tip, no?" She's like, "What's going on down here? Gracias. You want a big action?" So anyway, that's why I wear that adventure bag. It's called a sling bag. It's a single strap sling. Ideally, I actually don't want to wear it. It's very unbalanced to my shoulders, and it cuts in.
Yep.
And this jerk off down in Intramuros, the Spanish city in Manila, Intramuros. This jerk off tour guide, man, he pulled it so hard. He just came up to me and pulled it, just trying to rip it. And luckily, it was a really good, strong. It's actually a gun bag. It's reinforced, so it can carry the weight of a gun. And people actually said that. They go, "Yo, that's really obvious, man. That's a gun bag," because they know the gun culture, right?
Right.
So anyway, the point is, this jerk off old guy just ran up, pulled it, and this was before due dirt there.
Why
I was like, stop! He was just trying to rip it. He was just trying to see what he could get, and it got into my neck. Like he pulled it that hard, I fell over. You know, nearly hit the ground, and I got back up and just pushed him.
Yeah.
I was like, back up, back up. Now, for those who don't understand what happened, he's testing me. He's like, is he an easy target? Is he just another tourist? Can I rip his bag? Is something going to fall out? He's just trying. He's literally just, that's how crazy it was. And a cop came up. He was just watching. He wasn't worried. He goes, what's going on? I said, he pulled me so hard I nearly fell over. I said, this guy's crazy. You don't back up. You don't pull people. You know, you don't push people around like that. And he goes, yeah, I saw it. I go, Kuya, you're police, no? PNP. What are you doing? Arrest him. It's assault, you know? And he just spoke to him, you know, Tagalog, hey, look, easy, huh? Stop touching him, leave him alone. And he just waited till the cop left, and he did it again. He just kept trying to pull my bag.
I would have knocked that guy right out. I would have knocked him out.
Man, literally second day. No, I'm not kidding. It was like second day in Philippines. It was literally like the culture shock was so. It threw me off. So like I've never had someone just come up.
Now you would. Yep.
Yeah. Now I'll just jack him. I'll just push him, beat him up. Yeah, I'm not kidding, because he's trying to see what I'll do. You know, so and he's just laughing. He's just like I pushed him and I said, back up. People are watching you. The tourists are like, whoa, what happened? I'm like, back up. You know, stop touching me. Back up. And he just kept doing it. But he didn't expect it to be a reinforced bag. He didn't realize it was such a strong bag. But yeah, so it's just one of those things. You know, so the whole wearing the bag on your chest, even if it's a backpack, turn it around, it's actually a thing. You know, so yeah, so it doesn't have to be a big bag. I don't recommend it, because if you put a big bag, you'll put too much stuff. Just a small little backpack or fanny pack or sling bag. Yeah, it's enough. And I also like the sling bag because you can move it, so it can be on my chest, but then I can move it to my hip. You know, this just for convenience. You know, there's different things you can do with it.
And not to be too crazy, but the best defense. I mean, if it gets down to where you got to throw some punches, always punch them. Always line up the nose and hit them square in the nose, because they can't see after that.
Yep.
I had to do it one time in Mexico. I had to do it one time. Well, I was trying to get away. from him.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
And he wouldn't. He was frisky. He wasn't trying to attack me. He was trying to see where my money was, and like he wouldn't get off me. Like he was like going through my pockets. Like, and I'm like, I pushed him back. He came out. I'm like, well, now you gotta go. I hit him once in the nose, and he was done. Like that was the. And I didn't hit him that hard. I didn't even hit him that. I mean, I didn't hurt my hand. I mean, it wasn't that bad. But when you get hit,
even an accidental tap,
a little bit, and just see how much that hurts. Like, but everybody when they fight, every drunk guy, especially when they fight, they do this. They start swinging at cheeks and heads. Those are bones in your. Those hurt.
Yeah.
Just pop on the nose. It's like a shark. You just bump the nose. If you bump somebody's nose straight on, it's over. They're done. Like they're done. Yep. And you don't have to do it that hard. Like you just go.
Well, you naturally, your eyes will up too. Your eyes will water, and you will naturally want to close your eyes. Yeah.
Walk away, and like that's the end of it. Like 10 pounds of pressure, and like but everybody when they fight, they want to do this. They want to always.
Max Carter. Hey, thanks for joining us, Max Carter.
Just aim right in the middle. Like, come on, tight grouping.
Yep. No, it's even the jab. Just a quick bop up, even to give them two bop up and then get out of there. You know, but bop up and then push.
That just, you know, they want. If you hit somebody here, they can recover from that very easily. But if you just pop a nose, it's over.
Yep.
Like over.
Like you and I have had crazier conversations, and God forbid, I upset State Department and DFAT, our Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. DFAT. They're so small. They're so small.
Taxi drivers. I always tell taxi drivers that.
You know, DFAT is so small they don't even care. But it's funny. State Department follow me sometimes. So yeah, whatever.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be funny. Yeah, it'd be funny just if altercations. But anyway, we're not encouraging it. The idea is, guys, get out of there.
No, but it's not going to wound them. It's not going to kill them or anything, and it's not going to, I'm not saying like give it all you got, but I mean,
look, just so people look.
Got a long time to get away because they're going to be recovering.
It varies. So look, guys. In all seriousness, any altercation, I know it's hard, especially if you've been drinking and there's alcohol involved, like a bar or something. Think first.
Oh, yeah.
Say it again. Think first. right? Because we don't think. We're reacting. We're getting emotional. Think first, right? Then decide what to do. Now, if it's getting rough, don't stick around. Get out of there, right? Because you don't want them to come back and stab you or shoot you later, right?
Out of all my travels, I've had to hit somebody one time.
That's an amazing statistic. You're very lucky.
Yeah, we're talking like, one time. And
for me, it wasn't many, but I've had to throw down. Yeah, lucky you didn't get too rough, but.
I've never been mugged. I've never been violently mugged. I've been pickpocketed. I have had that happen twice, but I've never been like violently mugged.
So for those who don't understand, I'm in a very unique position. Meaning, I'm not trying to show off. I'm not encouraging this, but there are times I'm hanging out with security forces, so people won't mess with us. Meaning, even if they're in civilian clothing, they're armed or they're ready to rock. They're ready to rock and roll. So that's fortunate for me. But even if I was by myself, the same policy applies. You want to get out of there. But yeah, if they're harassing you, they're pulling at you, knock their ass out, man. Push them back, knock their ass out, but get out of there. Get out of there because sometimes the reprisal, the revenge, will be extreme. They'll come back with a knife and stab you, or they'll come back with a gun and shoot you. And it's been happening to foreigners for many years. Foreigners get killed. Yeah, I think we covered it all. Scott, are you taking a break or?
Don't talk shit to Filipinos either. Don't ever make them lose.
Yeah, that's. Thank you for saying that. It's a very big cultural thing. I mean, it applies in many cultures. Don't let them lose face. Meaning, try not to embarrass them. Because if you embarrass them publicly, like you diss them publicly, you're disrespecting them. All right, they're going to come back and stab you, right? And that can happen in any country. That can happen in America. That can happen in Australia. But yeah, so that's what I mean. Just try not to mess with it. I'm a bit crazy. Sometimes I'll stand up to them, and I probably shouldn't.
I don't.
But, usually, here's the moral. No, I want to get this because we're gonna get loose.
When I get in I've had a few times where they've gotten a little bit like drunk and they've gotten a little bit in my face. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. Did I make you, sir? Sir, did I make you angry? I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like whatever I'm saying means nothing. Like I don't want to die here tonight because even if you can't kill me, I'm going to walk outside and there's going to be 10 of your friends that are going to kill me. So
correct. It's not fun when they're chopping you with bolos, man.
I'm sure I can kick your ass, but I can't kick your whole family's ass. So I have no intention of.
Look, it happens in Australia too. They dog you from behind. That's how it goes down. It's not a big heroic. It's not going to be a heroic fight. It's when you're drunk, stumbling home, and they'll stab you in the back. Literally, they'll put a knife in your back.
Anytime I've gotten weird vibes, I always just talk my way out of it. I just go, "Hey, man, I'm sorry."
No, we talked about this. You get out of there. Remember how we're talking about it when this guy was harassing you in the bar? You just left the bar. Get out of there.
Yeah, you just get out. Like that's one thing you do. Just go, "Hey, I'm sorry, sir. Didn't mean to offend you." Boom, and I'm gone. Pay my tab, and I'm gone. I'm gone.
Scott had a good one. This guy was harassing the shit out of me, young guy in Cebu in Mango Square. I was like, "Give me cigarettes." I said, "No, I got," and I was smoking at the time. I go, "No, I ain't got nothing for you, brother." And he goes, "Give me a cigarette." And like he was like, he's a young guy, but he's being really full on. And I was sitting down. I go, "I ain't got nothing for you, man. All right, easy, huh?" So I'm being too nice. And he said, "Where'd you get that one?" I said, "I went down to the shops and bought it." I said, "Yeah, just go down to the 7-Eleven. It's cool, all right? Go to the 7-Eleven, go get them." He's like, "Give me that one." And I just stood up, and I was much taller than him. I'm like, what, 5'8", 5'7". But like, I stood up, and he went, "Oh, shit." And I said, "Go down to the friggin' store and buy your effing own," and I cussed him out. And then I was like, "You want trouble? You got it," And then he was like, "Oh." So I'll stop there.
That's a good way to end up with a machete in your head.
I'll stop there. I'll stop there. I finished up at my table and I left. I paid the bill and I left. Not the wisest move, but that's just what went down. I'm being honest.
Let
me break it down. No, sorry, Scott. Let me just break it down because people are going to watch this, right? You got to understand what they're doing. It's a test, right? They're doing this. They're testing you.
Right.
Is this guy a pushover or is he going to do something?
Right.
When I was too nice, "Hey, look, easy, man. Look, I ain't got nothing for you, right? There's a shop down there. Look, I ain't got nothing for you. Give me something." He's getting more aggressive. Why? He thinks, okay, as a foreigner, I got to get something. I got to get $1 out of him. I got to get a cigarette. I got to get something, right? Yep. So he's testing me because I arced up. He went, "Okay, I don't want to fight him tonight." Yeah. He backed off and he did. He went down to the shops and went and bought some.
And my brain would probably be like,
"I bought some," then.
Yeah, My brain would probably be like, well, if anybody's that confident, they probably got a gun.
Well, I mean, look, I got to own it, right? Like, if we were going to get in a bar brawl or a bar fight, then I had to own it, right? I mean, I realized I could lose. I realized his mates could come and beat me up. He's with a couple of mates, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I did the right thing too. I paid the bill and left.
Yeah, they have guns.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I mean, I paid the bill and I left. You know, that's it. And I went back to my hotel and got some sleep. Better than getting in a fight, right? Yeah. But they're testing you this whole time. Like the bag story, the guy pulling my bag and pulling me to the ground. They're testing you, and they're gonna go that far because they're thinking you're a pushover. So until you do something, you have to do something. Whether it's push them back, yell at them.
You are not selling Cebu. I've heard a lot of your Cebu stories, and like you're making it sound pretty rough. Like I when I was there, I didn't really involve with very much. I wasn't there very long.
It's not that I'm hating on it. It's just that guys they need to wake up. Like, how can I say it? There's a lot of corruption and drugs in Cebu.
Would you say Cebu is more rough and would you say Cebu is more rough and tumble than Angela City?
Oh yeah. For me, what I saw, that to give you an idea.
That's kind of the vibe I'm picking up from. I mean, I spent time there, but I didn't go to Mango Square. I didn't go anywhere. I was just walking.
To give you an idea, I was driving back from Dumaguete with a friend. We were driving back on the main road, and it's a famous road. It's just a dirt road, but it's the main road. You get on a ferry boat on the barge. We drove onto the barge from Dumaguete City. It went over to Cebu Island, South Cebu, and then we drove back up to Cebu City, right?
Okay.
On the road, a drug lawyer, he's a cartel member. You know, he gets the guys off. He's a boss.
Okay.
So because he's a lawyer, he's drug related. He had a case in Cebu. In Dumaguete. He was trying to get his guys off, right? One of his guys got arrested in Dumaguete. So on the way back, 2 trucks blocked him, and they sprayed him with M16s. And we heard it on the radio. It was right behind us. It happened behind us, not far. So we're like, oh shit. So lucky we got past it because we didn't want to be involved in that.
Yeah.
Also driving back, this is before Duterte. All right, this is a couple of years ago. This is before Duterte. All right, one of the mayors or deputy mayors of Cebu owned a warehouse. All right, no big deal. When they did a raid on the warehouse, they found a drug lab, shabu, methamphetamine.
Okay.
Why does the mayor own a warehouse with a drug lab in there? It's not right. It's corrupt. Something's wrong. There's drug cartel, right? They're involved. So it's not to say all of Cebu is bad. This is the reality check. I mean, these things are happening. Now it's targeted. They don't go around spraying everyone. They just spray certain cartel members, But that happened. That was what? That was season. Gosh, what was that? Season 1, season 2?
Yeah,
I think about season 1, Philippine season 1, season 2.
I gotta go back in the archives. I gotta go back in the archives and watch a few of these things.
That was season 1, so that's why for the people that don't know, I know it's a very amateur video. I was very excited, talking too fast. There's a video of me rolling, and I've got a 45. I'm in the car, and we're looking at the 45 and the car 15, the cut down M16, because there was some things going on at the time. You have to have your own security. That's how bad it was. And if you called the Dumaguete police station, they wouldn't turn up. Yeah. Oh, I've just been robbed. Help. Oh, yeah, we'll deal with it later. Good luck. Now Duterte is president. Clearly, things have to change. So he made it very clear things have to change. You can't go like that. But they're turning up now. If you call the police, they actually turn up.
Yep. Oh, wait. You wanted me to tell you some funny travel stories, right?
Right. Yeah. Please do. So let's move on.
I just thought of two of them. Okay, I'm gonna think, but I'm just gonna tell one really quick. Okay, so we're in Costa Rica, right? We're in Costa Rica, and we've taken a bus down to Panama, and the Panama border on a bus is a notoriously really shaky border, right? It's like it is a sketchy ass border. So we get off the bus, and you have to go through customs. It's like one guy with a typewriter. They don't even got internet. And they have to there's one guy, because the other guy was supposed to be there, but he showed up. He was drunk. He didn't show up the next, so they got one guy, and they got 3 buses there before us, right? Right. So we're driving down the road, and we meet this crazy Panamanian guy that was he was a Panamanian official. I can't remember what he was. He wasn't like a congressman, but some kind of a representative of some kind, right? And we're talking to him, and he's a cool guy, and we were laughing. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, my house is this, and we got a cool house, and you got to come visit." And we're like, "Oh, okay, right on." He's like, so we get off the bus, and he's like, "Hey, you guys come with me. You come with me. You don't stand in line with these people. You come with me. I'm like, okay. Like, we follow him. And there's a huge line. There's 100 people in line, easily. Like buses full, right? We walk right past the line. We go right in the back door, and he knocks on a door. And a door opens. It's like, blah, 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 in Spanish, like, I've got a diplomatic passport. He goes, I have a diplomatic passport. And they're like, oh, right this way. He's like, who are these guys? Like, they're my friends. He's like, and I can tell in Spanish. I mean, I don't speak Spanish well, but I can understand Spanish. They're like, do they have diplomatic passports? He's like, no, but they're my guests. And then the guy looks at his passport. He goes, okay. And they're like, stamp our passports, free to go. Like, so there's 100 people in line. Our bus is way down. So then we walk across the street and we sit there, and he's buying us drinks. And we're sitting there watching all the people standing in line, and they're like letting us sitting there. We're just sitting there drinking. You know, he's buying drinks, and we're watching these people like having to stand in line, and they're all giving us that.
So, did they check the ID, or you just made this shit up? Like,
they checked our passports. They checked our passports, and they looked them over, and then but they have no internet. They have no internet or anything. They couldn't like scan the passport. They just looked at it, went, and then they like, you know, stamped some stuff, and they typed some stuff on a typewriter, like an actual, like, with, you know, click, 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 and then they like print out a little thing like with and rip it off, and then.
By the way, hey, Spore Rome, something's going on with the chat. I can't reply comments for some reason. Maybe my bandwidth or something. But yeah, I can't reply, guys. I can't reply to the chat for some reason. But anyway.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, so keep going, Scott. Sorry.
Oh, anyway, that was it. We just sat there. We sat there watching them, and they all gave us the evil eye. You know, they're like, who the hell are you guys? Like, you walked right off the bus. There was already 2 buses in front of us, and we have to stand in line in the heat, and we're over there drinking, eating lunch. We're there for
but that's what I mean. How did you even get away with it? You said you were diplomats.
No, we were just talking to this guy, and he goes, hey man, you guys are cool. Like, it was me and Jeff.
Oh, right. Okay. I think you became buddies. You became friends.
Tell the story. Yeah, Jeff will tell you the story.
Yeah. Okay.
And then next thing you know, it's like the guy goes, no, man, you don't have to wait with these people, man. You come with me. We're diplomats. I'm like, are we? Okay, well, all right. Like, it was just like we're talking to this guy. Next thing you know, he's like, no, you're my friends. Like, trust me, watch this. I'll show you how things are done in fucking Central America. Like, and he just walked in and went past the line, went to a side door, knocked on the door, and the guy opens it like, what do you want? He goes, I'm a diplomat. And the guy goes, oh, come right in. Like, come right in. Like, you're immune to all this. And we sat down inside, and he looked at all our passports. I mean, he looked at our passports, and they asked, they're like, are these 2 diplomats? Because it's like, obviously they're just white guys. You know, it's like, he goes, no, they're not diplomats, but they're my personal friends, and I want you to treat them like diplomats.
Oh,
and
my God.
And the guys are like,
You're really milking it. You're really milking it,
man. No, he was. We didn't have anything to do with it. Like,
whatever. You're taking advantage, Scott. But anyway, yeah, keep going.
Hey, man, when a congressman says, "Come with me, I'm going to show you how shit's done."
Right. Okay. Well, he's showing off. He wanted to show off and show.
Yeah, he's going his way. Yeah, he's like, it's a very Latin American thing to do. Like, be like,
his face. He's showing face. He wants to show good face.
He's like, watch how I roll. And I'm like, dude, if I had that power, I'd do the same thing. It's like, you guys are cool. Follow me. Like, yeah, that's what it was. That's all it was. But it was pretty cool because then we just sat there in the nice cool breeze and watched everybody stand in line. Well, we sat right across from the line at a restaurant and just drank and ate food while they were all standing in line. It was pretty awesome. Like, that was a good
why not?
It's not an amazing travel story, but it was a pretty good time. Like, you know?
I'm just gonna refresh the YouTube. I hope I don't stuff it up.
And then
I'm just refreshing YouTube. Yep. Keep going. Yep.
Oh, well, then, like, not after we got through the Panamanian border, we didn't even get 50 miles, and then our bus broke down. And they're like, oh, it's going to be like 5-6 hours, like, before we can get fixed up. And he's like, fuck this, I'm getting a cab. He goes, you guys want to ride? I'm like, yeah. So he got a cab, and he paid for it. He was like, no. I'm like, you want us to give you some money? He's like, no, I got it. And he paid for a cab for 150 miles. Like, it was 150 miles to Panama, And he's like, no, I want a cab. It was probably $100 US, like $100 US, not a lot, but I mean a lot. I mean, it's, you know, but he was like, no, I'm getting a cab. I'm not going to sit around here for this bus. I'm like, and me and Jeff afterwards like, why was this guy on the bus in the first place? Like, why was he on a bus? Like, why wouldn't he just have got a cab?
But maybe it's a bit like that too, as in, you know, when the boss wants to see what's actually happening in the real world, you know, like the boss wants to work one day, or maybe he's checking things out. You never know, right? Like a good boss does that. A good boss actually goes and spends time with the workers.
Super nice guy. Be a little bit, you know, he was showing off, but guess what? But you know what?
Yeah.
When he showed off, it like results happened. Like you were like, oh wow, check that out. Like we're actually, you know, this is good.
So, guys, something just happened. It might actually be a security breach. So Scott and I, you better remind me. I think there might have been a security breach. I was logged out of my account for some reason, my YouTube. So it's weird. So I don't know if that was just a bandwidth problem, but that usually means a security breach, meaning you've been logged out and logged back in. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, not to be too paranoid, we'll just keep going with the show. Annie T, thanks for joining us. What would you recommend to do if homeless ask for money? I was told they swarm tourists if they see you doing it. Yes, that is true. So that's up to you. You got to find a balance. Yeah. I would give them, it's up to you. I would give them some coins. Like, you know, if you have any coins, 20 pesos, 30 pesos. My very first trip, I was a noob and my wallet was too heavy. It had 100 pesos in coins. So I literally emptied all the coins and went, oh, I don't know how much this is worth. I gave it to her. And yes, people swarmed down to my hotel. Homeless were actually coming down to my hotel going, hey, this guy's rich. He's giving away 100 pesos. So it's up to you. You can also buy them food. So you could go.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just go to Jollibee and buy some burgers. I buy some burgers.
Jollibee, 7-Eleven, Andox, all these different local vendors have a rice meal. It's a rice bucket meal. Ask for the rice bucket meals. They only cost 50 pesos. So that way you see them fed and they get a rice bucket with gravy, you know, with stir fry. Something like that. Yeah. Also hamburgers. Sometimes I'll buy a cheap hamburger just because it's contained. That's just my whole point.
Yeah.
It's contained. You just hand it to them. Yeah. But you got to understand too, and I respect. A lot of these homeless people will go to tourist areas like Makati in Manila on purpose just to prey on tourists.
And also be aware it is technically illegal for a foreigner to give homeless people money.
Correct. It's a vagrancy law. It is illegal, but they don't enforce it.
They don't enforce it. Just to know that it is illegal for you to give them money. Yeah, but I've heard it's illegal to give them money, but is it illegal to give them food?
No, I think that's a gray area. Yeah, I don't think that's. I think you're allowed to.
I'm just asking the question. I have no idea.
That's a good point. You are allowed to give them food. I think that's the loophole.
I've heard you can't give them money, but that's all I heard. I didn't know.
The law is very specific. It comes from Marcos regime, the Marcos presidency, and it specifically says it's about the dignity of the Filipino people.
Right.
It's not dignified to be on the street like that. So that's why they like don't encourage it because it'll create more, which is true.
Yeah, that's true. So, I buy it. Yeah,
and I did have I wish I got her on camera. She said no. The lady I gave 100 pesos to, she did it again. Sir, you are very generous. 100 pesos again the next night. I said, what are you doing here? 100 pesos is a lot of money. The hotel told me I was silly because all these kids and people were lining up at the hotel later. And I caught her later down at the drugstore, looking nice, fresh, new shirt, jeans. You know, she looked all fresh. And I was like, "Hey, how come you look so clean?" And she goes, "You got me." She goes, "You got me." I said, "Look, I'll buy you a coffee. Let's have a chat." So I bought her a meal and a coffee. Like what I was saying, I just bought her a rice meal. And we're just sitting there having a coffee. And I go, "So is this your job?" She goes, "Yeah, this is my job. I dress as a beggar. I put dirt. I put rags. And then I go to Makati. And then this is how I make my money." She goes, "You're good money. You paid me 100 the other night." So I'm not kidding, man. So she goes, "This is my job." That's what I mean. She goes down to Makati.
How do you have so little self-respect for yourself, you know?
Well, hey, that's a little hustle. That's a little thing. So that's why I said, "Can I interview you? I'll pay you to interview you." She goes, No, I don't. Look, come on. I don't want to get killed, you know? But, and this is season 1. That was actually way back in season 1. So I'm new, bro. I'm totally new.
Yeah, probably has a boss, and he probably gets a cut.
Unfortunately,
a corporation.
Unfortunately, usually it's a drug dealer. Usually it's a drug dealer because they're running drugs. Usually they're paying off a drug debt, something like that. Yeah. So
is Brian still on?
I don't know, Brian. Brian, can you ping us? Are you still around? And once 007, what's this? Once 007 puts on his sunglasses, he's invisible to me. Whatever. James Bond's an asshole. James Bond's an asshole. Yeah. He's just Hollywood. I've never been given. I like the actor. I like that James Bond actors. I'm just saying the character is bullcrap. They would die so easily. There's no such thing as a James Bond. They die. I never give money, but I've bought manok for kids. Yeah, exactly. Manok, he means like a chicken dinner. Yeah. They wrap it up in foil. It's very common, the barbecue or whatever. Yeah, they wrap it up. Yeah, same thing. I've done the same, by the way. I don't know how to say your name. Spore Rome. Ancient gladiator from Rome. Roma. Yeah, I've done the same barbecue. Just buy the street barbecue, give it to them. Yeah. So that's so Annie. That was a great question. Yeah, mainly feed them. But look, guys, let's be straight. They're going down there for money, right? They're going to these tourist areas for money. Yeah. They wouldn't go down there otherwise.
And we have a thing called CPS, right, in America. It's called Child Protection Services, right?
Sorry, that's the law too. There's a child protection law in Philippines for that. They're not allowed to.
If you're begging, that's one thing. But if you're begging with your child, that child will be taken away. Like that is the end of it. Like that child is gone, and we're gonna take it away, and we're gonna put it in a home and give it a chance. But if you're on the street using your child as my child's hungry, it's like, no, he's not anymore because he's gone. Like
they do that.
They'll grab that kid right off the street in America.
Look, it's very sad, guys. Look, it's incredibly sad. I don't say this to be mean, but you will see people doing that with the child just to try and get a couple of coins or something. Sometimes drug addicts, the drug addict. It's not even their child. They borrowed it from someone else, But
and you know what? I don't know what this says about me as a person, but when I go by and I see a homeless man with a dog, I think to myself, man, poor dog.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think I'm just sick of dogs don't lie. Dogs are not liars. People are liars. But that dog is like, man, I'm homeless. Like, trust me, I'm fucking homeless. Like, I'm really homeless. Like, it's like, so I give dog biscuits. I give dog biscuits to the homeless guy. Go, hey, this is for your dog, by the way. Don't eat it.
I've not seen it that much, but I've seen the people pretending to be homeless down at the grocery store. So as I'm going in to get my groceries or going out, they're there begging, and it's just disgusting, especially in Australia, where we really are a lucky country, and they're just sitting there trying to take advantage of people. It's like they could earn good money. They could go get a job and earn good money. So anyway.
And you know what? They've done experiments in America here too. Like they walk up, guys.
Sorry to clarify, they're not really homeless. They're just going down to the grocery store to get drug money or alcohol money or whatever.
Yeah. And we have the people hang out signs in America. They say, "Oh, we'll work for food. Just need work. Just need a job." And people have walked up and go, "Perfect, man. I'll give you $15 an hour. I need you to mow some lawns today." They're like, "No, thanks." Like, what do you mean, no thanks? Like, you say you're going to work. It's like, no. Not, I'm just saying that so I can get money. And it's like, and then the guy stands behind him with a sign. I offered him a job and he said no. Like, like it's true. They don't want money. They don't want a job. I mean, they don't want to work.
Yeah. We had many chats offline about that. Same problem in Australia. Like a friend of mine was running a landscaping company. We're going to have to move on from this, Scott, but just to finish up. He can't find people. All they have to do is cut lawns. He'll pay you $50,000 a year. All you have to do is cut grass. The lawnmower, the tools are there. No one
They're all falling asleep on the side of the building.
Yeah. In theory. What happens is, for the guys who don't understand, they might work for 1 or 2 months just to get caught up to pay the drug dealer, and then they disappear. They just work a month or two just to get caught up, just to get some food, pay the drug dealer.
It's sad, but it's not my problem. That's your choice. That's your choice. That's your design. That's your
ownership.
plan.
It's ownership. They got to take ownership of their own lives. Yeah, all of us have to.
If I lose money in the stock market, it's because I made bad decisions. If you lose money in life, it's because you made bad decisions. And I'm sorry, but that's how life is. And not all. I mean, in the history of the world, this is like the easiest life has been. Right? Nobody's trying to burn us as witches. Nobody's trying to persecute us for anything, really. I mean, if you want to make money, all you got to do is go, I want to make money. And you can. So if, it's not that bad. Go to the Philippines, you'll see bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You know, America's not bad. Like, I'm sorry if you can't make it in America. You've really, in the peak of the history of the best economy, you're done.
I don't want to sidetrack too much. It's called the handout economy. You got rebates, tax cuts, subsidies. You know, there's coupons, whatever. Right? We're living in it's same in Australia, right? We've got this handout economy, where if you can't survive in this handout economy, then you're not going to survive during a recession. But that's another. We should talk about that as a separate topic. But
that's a separate topic. Okay.
Yeah. So all I'm referring to is when the economy gets tight and things get tight. If you don't know how to survive when things are good, then you ain't going to survive later.
Yeah, if you survive in this economy, you're not going to do well in what's coming.
And we're talking about West. We're talking about Australia, America. We're talking about the West.
The West. In the West.
So
and bad times will come because good times come and bad times come. It happens. It's not because we're predicting the future. It's just.
But I can see because Duterte is doing such a great job cleaning the country up. I can see their economy booming. They actually have the discipline now to boom. You know, there's so much problems before, and there's still problems now. But at least they're addressing them.
Yeah.
So I can see it booming. Yeah. So Dino, hey Dino, hey mate. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, no, Dino's really cool. He's been very supportive. So yeah, hey Dino, finally doing another just update. So Scott, do you want to share some more about your favorite places? Anything you're comfortable with? But
you know, I mean, I like every place I've been for what it is. Okay, so it's hard to say. It's like I like Angeles City for what it is, but I also like Awan for what it is. I can't say that I like one better than the other. I like them for their properties. You know, it's like I don't know how to describe it, but
well, each place is unique. I found that,
and they all have their gems, and they all have their downfalls. But I mean, there's very hard. I mean, it's not like. There's no one place that I would go.
What province?
I would never go anywhere else. I would live here, and I would never move.
What province were you and I talking about the other night? We're talking about a province south of Manila in Luzon, South Luzon. Is it Bicol? Bicol? You went to Bicol?
Yeah, Bicol. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you find that?
Like that's Camp Sewer. Bicol. Yeah, that's Bicol. Yeah.
I'll spell it out for the viewers. Bicol. Yeah.
Bicol. Yeah.
There's a dish, Bicol Express. It's like a coconut.
Express,
a coconut dish.
Yeah,
it's like a coconut curry or something. But
look at a curry drink.
Is it worth the trip? Because you know I'm looking at new places, so I thought, Bicol.
You know what that Cam Sir was bitching, man. I did.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Okay, yeah.
I learned how to waterboard. So like, man, Cam Sewer was awesome because there was no waiting. It was like really dead. It was really dead. So I had a good time because there was no waiting, and I got time to like. It was like my own private jet, my own private like water ski lessons, and the guys like gave me all the tips, and I mean I had a good time. Just I don't know if it was timing or what.
That was Naga. You're talking about Naga, yeah?
Yeah, but that's also Bicol. That's like Bicol is just a little bit up.
The region, yeah.
Okay, it's that region. It's all that region, yeah.
But you were specifically in Bicol. Oh, sorry, Naga.
Naga, but I went through Bicol. Bicol is where the volcano is.
Hey, Brian Ben, the 7th. Wow, seventh in the royal family. Brian Bren the 7th. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. That's cool. Brian Bren.
Thanks for joining us, Your Highness.
Your Highness, yeah. But by the way, for the guys who don't understand, yeah, I'm not secret agent. I'm just crazy. I like guns. I like it.
Traveling and.
Like I said, I was denied many things as a child. So. No, I was just denied many things as a child. So in adulthood, you tend to pursue them. You know?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So anyway,
you make me pursue things you've missed out on your childhood. You're pissed off.
No, that's a different story. Like I said, you need to level up, Scott. You can't play in the level 10 server all the time. We're talking about computer games like World of Warcraft or the Star Wars. But the point is, when you're playing a computer game and you get to level 10 and level 20, level 30, you can't keep going back to level 10 server. They'll kick you out. They kick you out, man. They go, "What are you doing?"
What I am is I'm a sniper in the weeds. I'm a sniper in the weeds. I'm just sitting in the weeds. Yeah. I'm all covered in camouflage.
Look, I might as well address this because people keep asking. Look, Sir Dino, yeah, he's asking about Says Style. Sorry, Scott, but we'll keep talking in a sec. Yeah, Says Style. He published a couple of videos this year, 2018. So that's what he published. And he said he broke up with his wife, Lynn, and he was enjoying the party lifestyle and is still enjoying partying in Philippines. So that's all I know is what you guys know. All I know is what you guys know, and then yeah, he's removed his videos from his channel. So that's
I didn't
him,
know.
bro.
I think you mentioned that. But I haven't followed anything. So he's just done.
Right. I just want to clarify now. So I'm not ripping on anyone. You know, I'm not dissing anyone. But that's all I know. All I know.
Not posting anything anymore?
No, he deleted all his videos.
Wow, they're gone.
Yeah,
wow.
They're gone. So the channel's still up, but all the videos are gone. So that's why he went dark. He went into hiding. You know. So yeah.
His methods have become unsound.
Oh, he's gone dark, brother. He's gone dark.
Prejudice. You ever see Apocalypse Now?
I can't remember. It's so old. But yeah, he's gone dark.
We gotta go into the jungle and hunt him. We've been tasked with a.
Yeah. So all I can say, guys, is you can message him maybe on Facebook. I don't know if he's still going to answer, but he still has a Facebook page, so you can just try and communicate.
Maybe he's some kind of warlord in the jungle now with his own private army.
maybe he's having the time of his life in an old bar where guys drink themselves to high hell. You know what I mean? Like it's sad, you know. So
that sounds awesome. I love that place. Yeah.
Well, we talked about that, Scott. There are bars where guys go to drink themselves to death. You know, and they do. So yeah,
that is a problem in the Philippines. Is what happens is you show up with all these high hopes of like living on a beach and enjoying retirement. Next thing you know, you're just some guy living in Angeles City with like, $10 crack whores and getting, starting drinking at freaking 8 a.m. You know.
Yep. No, and they're literally, I'm not kidding. They're literally trying to go to hell in a handbasket. Like they're literally trying to drink themselves to death. You know, so because everyone's got a story. They might have had a messy divorce. They might have had a bad experience, and yeah.
I feel like I feel I get to have a few drinks, but damn it, I go out there and slog around in the rain all day and climb on wet slimy roofs all day and defy death, and then I get to earn a drink. But you don't get to wake up in the morning and just start drinking. Like, you gotta go out there and like have your ass handed to you a little bit, or go out on a boat.
Well, I think that's actually the problem. There's too much freedom. There's too much freedom. So you are free to get drunk in the morning on cheap rum, $1 rum, and then you drink another $1 rum, and then
they're usually drinking Red Horse in a glass.
Yeah, Red Horse is a very strong beer. Yep. I think they put something in it, man. I think they've. Sorry to interrupt. I think they put like ethanol or something in it. Like it's not.
Oh yeah, it's not.
It's not normal. It's not normal. Yeah. So anyway, it's very strong. Yeah.
I had 2 Red Horses one time. 2 Red Horses one time, and I swear it was hallucinogenic. Like I was seeing weird colors and spots out of the corner of my eye.
Well, that's good. Guys have tripped out on it. That's why I think they put something else in it. Like it's beer with an additive.
Yeah, I had 2 big. One time I went to that old guy drunk bar because it was across from my hotel, and at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, after I had nothing to drink before, and I had 2 Red Horses, and I walked out of there feeling like I was on an acid trip. I felt like I was seeing colors and weird, and I never drank Red Horse again. Never drank Red Horse again.
Yeah, be careful, guys. I know some of you may like drinking, but just go slow. That's the point. Try it, go slow, just one little bit at a time.
Very toxic. I mean, I feel, but I mean, I can.
No, because you become when it's like that, you become legalist. You don't understand. Like guys get up and fall over. Like, I'm so tough, and they just fall over. And they get robbed. They get robbed, and they just fall over in the bars like crazy. But
and my buddy, this guy I know who owns a sorry store right down the road from this, old guy drunken bar. He was an American, and I befriended him because I'd wake up in the morning, go have coffee, and his wife was nice, and we'd just sit there and hang out, and he was a really cool dude. And, he was telling me a story like how he used to be a truck driver and whatever. But he's like, man, they crawl home at 3 o'clock. They're crawling home on their arms, and they can't walk.
Yeah, literally
they're crawling. Yeah, man. Can't afford.
I've seen them falling over. Yeah.
Yeah, they're crawling home because they can't afford a trike because that would cut into their drinking money, and they bring beers to the bars. The bar allows them to bring their own beers, and they show up
Oh my God.
Fury, and then they drink. Oh my God, it's like the worst thing you ever saw. I mean, and these guys, and you know what? I mean, I'm not. I mean, there were a couple Americans, and the rest were all Australians.
Yeah,
they were just old Australians.
Of course.
They had a pension, and they were just. I mean, and they were all talking about the the $5 street hooker they picked up that robbed them, and I'm like, you brought a $5 home with you, and then you're surprised he robbed you? Like, when you're like, who could have saw that coming? Like, really? Wow, that's shocking. That's shocking. Like, you don't hear about. I mean,
no, you don't hear about those. I heard about the $10 ones. But anyway, yeah.
Probably only half of them were probably girls.
Yeah. Oh my lord. All right, so you got any more
bad things?
Okay,
Bad things.
What's a great place? What's a place that you had a great experience? I know it's very subjective, in a different time period, but
I mean.
Yeah, you got to think about it.
I've had a lot of fun in Central America. In Central America.
Okay.
I really have. I mean, I had a great time in Costa Rica. I've been there 3 times, and we had a great time there.
Yeah, the pics you showed me were great. Even the fishing, you had all those big tropical fish.
Oh, yeah. We went out. We were killing marlins, and I mean, we rented a Jeep, and we went cruising. We rented a coffee plantation. We rented a guest house. It was a coffee plantation, and it was like this big mansion, and the owners, we were there in the winter, we were in there in the off season, and in the summer, our summer, and but they were all Italians, and for some reason my buddy's uncle knew them, and they were like, hey, they're gone because in the summertime they go, because it's kind of like shitty weather in Costa Rica. It wasn't that bad, but I mean, it's a little bit rainy season, and they're like, hey, you can have the whole coffee plantation for $400 a month. Like 2 guys, $400 a month.
Okay, yeah.
3 maids. I mean, we wouldn't get to stay in the main house, but we stayed in the guest house, which was really nice. It was like 3 maids and fruit trees. There were fruit trees everywhere. And man, I tell you what, we were like, man, there's all these fruit trees. I wish we had a juicer. And the maid brought us this commercial juicer, like this big, awesome, big, this is in the 90s. So a juicer was like this big, like this big monster thing.
Well, wouldn't that be expensive for locals? That's a big deal? Or maybe it's for the plant. Oh, sorry, it was for the plantation. Like they had a juicer, like they make juice and stuff.
They just had one. She says, the maids are like, well, the owner's not using his juicer. You can use the juicer. Like we'll clean it up when you're done. Like we're not going to just.
Okay.
I mean, we were just joking. I was like, man, and he said, wow, I wish we had a he said to her, he spoke fluent Spanish, so he could say to her, like, hey, we wish we had a juicer. Do you have anything? Like, we were thinking, like, just a little thing we could, like, put juice on, because there's all the trees. It's a rainy season, so all the trees are just ripe. I mean, all the trees, like mangoes and limes, and I mean, every fruit you can imagine. There was like like Costa Rican apples, like all these weird, like there was just tons of them everywhere, and coffee and whatever. And we're like, and so all of a sudden she says, oh yeah, no problem, we'll give you a juicer. So we made a bunch of fresh, healthy juice. And then we like, what if we add alcohol to this? Okay. So then we bought this stuff called cacique
fresh juice. Yeah.
We bought this stuff called cacique guado, which is a sugar cane. It's basically like in America we call it 151. It's just grain alcohol. It's just pure alcohol, right? And it's like tasteless, odorless, but it's like deadly. It's deadly. And we're at home. We're in a gate. We got security guards, and we decide, okay, we're going to juice some drinks. And we sat there and we juiced these drinks and we poured these. I woke up on the lawn with ants crawling all over me in the morning.
Holy cow, yeah.
In my underwear. We blacked out like so quick. It was so high because we were just pouring. We made all this juice.
It would have been smooth, like a cocktail. Yeah.
Oh, man. We didn't drink that many of them, and we had a great time. It was just me and him, so no embarrassment. But I woke up on the lawn. I walked outside and fell asleep, and there were ants, these little tiny sugar ants.
Ants, yeah, all over you. Yeah,
all over my body, and I'm like, no bites though. They didn't bite me. They were just all over me. I was like, I could have woke up with bites.
All right, Scott. By the way, we've been talking for like 2 hours, man. We've been going for a while, which is awesome. Should we finish up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
So was there another Philippines experience you wanted to share, or?
got them, but I can't. You know, they don't come to mind.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. So, by the way, this is my daily carry in Australia. It's just a flashlight. Just a pen flashlight. Yep, it's a Cree LED, and if you don't believe me, you know, I have several. The reason why I still recommend it, top tip, always travel with a flashlight. You can even carry one, like a little pen one like this.
I've upgraded to a tactical. Tactical.
Oh, we got to talk about that. You should get an LZO, man. You know the LZO I was telling you about?
This one's lifetime guarantee.
What brand is it?
It is a Coast. A Coast.
Is that from a local store or what?
No, it's a pretty highly rated one, but
we'll chat more offline. We'll talk about it, but that's cool, man. Hey, because you've been breaking them so often as a tradesperson.
I've been breaking, but this one has a lifetime guarantee, and you can return it to the store. Like you don't have to send it off. You can just send it.
I know what you mean. If it's more convenient locally, then yeah, get it done.
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't want to have to mail things. Yeah,
because I'm just trying to close this one out because these are common questions too. This is a vaporizer. It's just liquid flavoring.
That's what it is too.
Good on Scott. It's a quit smoking product, so we both trying to quit smoking. You know, this is much healthier than tobacco. That's the whole idea. Just for the viewers, I should probably do a review on it or something because
something's got to kill us though. Something's got to kill us.
Hey, well, it's better than the tar and crap we're putting in our lungs. Like it's already improved our health. Look, I look young now. I look young again. You look young too, Scott.
As soon as Keith Richards dies, then I'll clean up my act.
Oh my god! If you have not done so already, go watch my SSD videos. It's a type of high-speed hard drive, solid-state drive. It's something I'm into. It's a great hack. It's a great hack to make a computer new again. So especially if you have an i5, Core i5 or Core i7.
Will have yours. My new computer will have your solid-state drive.
Yes. I know, but you got to fix your old one. No, I'm trying to close the video ad, man. I'm doing the last little shout outs. Thank you everyone for attending, and thank you Spore Rome. Spore Rome, tell me your real name so I can call you by your real name. But and thank you for watching my tech vlogs. But yeah, the idea is to share the experience. You know, sharing is caring. Scott, you need to upgrade to an SSD on your current computer and more RAM.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be soft. It's easy. Like you work it out. We'll get someone to help you. But anyway, we'll work that out.
I'll put it on the list.
What else? There's something else I was meant to share. Yeah, we pretty much already covered it. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
And yeah, look, I'm just going through life. You know, have a very safe and merry holiday season. You know, it's Christmas time. So guys, I might take a look. Sorry?
Oh, Merry Christmas to everyone too. Yeah, I'm also saying that. Yep.
Merry Christmas and happy holiday seasons. I should still be around, like I should still be vlogging, but I'm actually working, guys. So I'm like that. I'll still be working. I'll still be around, and hopefully, new adventures for the new year. We'll see. Scott and I will work that out. And as always, thanks for watching. Scott,
can I do it too?
Yeah. Right, awesome, man. We went for ages. 2 hours. Awesome.
That was pretty good. Well, I think we were entertaining, don't you think?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to stop recording now.
Oh.
I'm just going to start talking trash. All right. Bye, guys.
Let me tell you.